Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy, Simeon Russell. Another day, another Knicks rumor. Let's get busy. What's poppin', my people? I'm chilling. Had a good day. Pretty good day. Decent day. Hope you all did as well. Got to run up and down the court a little bit, play a little bit of basketball. You know, a couple of my, had a couple of guys come and scrimmage, a couple of college guys come and scrimmage my girls. And, you know, the guys, they went ahead and, you know, they played ball. They had my girls a little bit frustrated sometimes, but that's what's up. That's how you gotta let it go. You gotta let the young kids play against higher level competition. You know what I'm saying? So that they can get better. So they understand how they can reach their level. But yeah, we're here. We're about to talk about another rumor. For those who may not be aware, Knicks Film School ended up having a conflict. Timing conflict. So he will be back on Thursday. You know, so it's cool. Hey, it happens. It's all good. I'm excited for Thursday. We're gonna talk free agents. We're gonna talk cap. Not really free agency. We're gonna talk about the cap when Knicks Film School is here on Thursday. And you know what it looks like for the remainder of this year and what it's gonna look like for next year going into free agency. All right. Another thing that I want to bring up to you guys. I seen somebody put in the chat that I need to stay on the timer. You are exactly right. I need to make sure I'm on the timer. You know what I mean? Keep that timer rocking, and I'm going to do it. I'm working on it. I'm going to do it. But I am reducing the time of the timer. We have more people that are calling in. More people that want to talk, you know, so I'm taking it down from 5 minutes to 2 minutes. I know sometimes I let people talk a little bit too long, so I'm taking it down 5 minutes to 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes, so be prepared to say what you want to say, get it in and get it out. 2 minutes, I'm moving you along. You know what I mean? Moving you along, and we're gonna get on to the next caller. If you're good, then I'll let you go a little bit longer. But you got to be good, right? You got to be good. You got to be bringing up something that people want to talk about. And you can't come on here boring us to death either. You know what I mean? If you're going to jump in and you're going to talk, come in and talk. You know, have something to say. Have an idea. You know what I mean? Have an idea, have something on your mind, and come in and let it loose. I'm giving you 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you 2 minutes. And if you're good, I might give you some extra time. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's how it's going now, because we got a lot of people calling in. I want to try to get to everyone if I can. Thank you, Siobhan Robinson, appreciate it. You said, I would do the Jimmy trade strictly for cap reasons. We're going to talk about it. Jimmy McBuckets. We're definitely going to talk about it. Well, we might as well get right into it. As you all know, it's been, I don't even know if I should say reported, but the rumor's been out there, and the rumor was, if it's a rumor, if it's the truth, if it's a rumor, I guess we'll find out. The rumor was reported by Ross from Legion Hoops. Look, Legion Hoops, for the most part, is reputable, I guess. I don't know if they're reputable as far as having sources, but they are, you know, a popular news feed, NBA news feed. You know, what kind of sources do they have? I do not have the answer to that. All right, not one bit. So, I will call this a rumor. I'm not even going to say that it's a report. I'm not going to say that news broke. I'm going to call it a rumor that the Knicks And let me find out. Here we go. Pull it back up here. That the Knicks and the Timberwolves have had preliminary talks centered around star small forward Jimmy Butler. And if you're going to break some news, spell small correctly. But that's Ross from Legion Hoops. Take from it what you will, but it's worth talking about. Jay Alvarez, you say, is fake news. Could be. It could not be as well. We don't know. Could be fake news. It could be real news. You know, we don't know. We don't know. But I'm interested to hear from you guys. BN, you said, what's the rumor? The rumor is that the New York Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves have had preliminary discussions revolving or centered around Jimmy Butler. That's the rumor. I want to get you guys' opinion on that. I think we discussed it before. Right? We discussed it before. Some of you all do not want Jimmy Butler. Some of you all are in support of bringing in Jimmy Butler. Listen, I like Jimmy Butler. I like his game. I know many of you kind of like his game, but are concerned about his locker room presence, right? Because, you know, he's had some trouble connecting with the youth and, in Chicago and in Minnesota. We obviously have a lot of youth here in New York, and we don't want to have any problems. We don't want to deal with any kind of problem with an elder statesman connecting with the youth. If you want to call him an elder statesman connecting with the youth here in New York. We want to grow organically, right? And we want to, we want to build a good culture. But listen, Jimmy Butler does play defense. Offensively, he's a decent offensive player. I'm not sure of the exact numbers. I'd have to go and check out his exact numbers. And he is a, what do you want to say? He's a guy that worked. He's a guy that worked up from the bottom, right? When he got drafted into the league, he wasn't a superstar. He worked and he built what he needed to. He built it. He worked for it. His work ethic was obviously there to become the Jimmy Butler that we know of today. You know what I mean? And so that's what's out there. But would you do it? Are there benefits to trading for Jimmy Butler right now? You know what I mean? I do actually think that there are benefits for trading for Jimmy Butler right now. You know what I mean? I think there could be at least one benefit for trading for Jimmy Butler that I can think of. But I want to hear from you guys. And I'm going to bring on my man. You guys know him. Yo Black, it's time. He's been here. He's been part of the program since the beginning. You know what I mean? He's been part of the chat since the beginning. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna bring my man Tony Crow on to speak with you all for a little bit, and we're gonna talk about this Jimmy Butler stuff. And we're gonna get you guys to join in the chat. We're gonna get you guys to call in. I know you guys got a lot on your mind about it. I know you're thinking about it a lot, and you want to talk about it. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get right. We're gonna get right to business. Man. I got my man Tony Crow. What's poppin', my brother? How you feeling? Without a doubt, my man. So, tell me, what are you thinking about this whole Jimmy Butler thing, man? and I'm gonna blow you up so we get you full screen. There we go. What are you thinking about this whole Jimmy Butler thing? What's in your mind with it? Okay. Hold on 1 minute, Tony. Hold up 1 minute, Tony. Okay. Start that over one more time. My bad, folks. All right, go ahead. What you were saying about, start that over again.
So basically, I'm not in a rush to get him. I rather get him in free agency than a trade. If we're doing a trade, I'm not going to trade a first round pick next year. 2020 may be more feasible because we should be in a position of winning by then.
Uh-huh.
And they're going to have to take back a sizable contract. So that's either Noah or Tim Hardaway or Lee.
Okay.
But if they're not willing to take back one of those three guys, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, so you said you'd want them to be willing to take back Noah, Tim Hardaway, or Lee. I definitely think they would take back Lee. Would they take back Noah? I don't know, especially when you're talking about, well, I mean, you never know because Tom Thibodeau, he likes Joakim Noah, right? That's his boy, Joakim Noah. It's a tough one, man, because
I think he owes it to Joakim Noah since he overplayed him all those years.
yeah, right. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think everything, in my opinion, would have to do with what we would have to give up, right? And everything. If we have to give up a first round pick, you know what I mean? I'm going to be really, I'm not trying to give up a first round pick, especially when you can sign them in the off season, right?
Next year, exactly.
Next year in 2019.
And if we're keeping it all the way real, I agree with Jonathan Mackey in saving that money for whenever KD decides to become a free agent. Because I think if we get Kevin Durant, I don't even think we need a second max player. Like, I think we could rock with the players we have developed.
Right.
And Kevin Durant. And I think we could be the top guy in the East.
Right.
Or at least right there with Boston and Philadelphia.
Okay. See, my only thing about
that's
trading.
Me personally.
Okay. See, my only thing about trading for Jimmy Butler now, and I'm not saying I'm for it or against it. I would reserve judgment for what I hear would be offered up in a Jimmy Butler trade. My only thing is that if you trade for Jimmy Butler now, right, then in 2019, clearly, you're going to be, you want to have room for free agency, right? But if you trade for Jimmy Butler now, he's going to be a free agent in 2019. I believe, if I'm correct, you can use his bird rights to go over the cap so that you could sign more players. So you would still have room to sign like a Kyrie Irving or whoever, right? But then you'd still be able to go over the cap to sign more players, more role players, or whatever it is to build your team. If you're thinking that way, if the Knicks were thinking that way, that would be the reasoning behind it, I believe. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I mean, that's more going for it right now.
Yep, that's going for it right now. And I don't know if we're ready to go for it right now.
I don't think so either. I think we've been patient enough in this last year and a half. If we continue this process, I think everything will fall in the right spot.
Right. Right.
I think
Right.
I think Robinson can develop to be. First of all, I think he's just as good as every other big man in rookie big man that this year's draft,
Okay.
and potentially could be better.
Okay.
Then Knox has shown what he can do, and I've been calling for Knox, for a couple months now. So I'm good with Knox. KP, if he's healthy, we've seen what he can do. First time All-Star, should be an All-Star again. Should be in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year, like Fizz was talking about. Frank is in that same boat. I'd rather be patient. Be patient, stay pat, and go for the best guy. Try to get the best guy. You know what I mean? And the best guy, I think, will be Kevin Durant.
Well, yeah, the best guy would clearly be Kevin Durant. But how do we know that the Knicks aren't of the mindset that you can trade for Jimmy Butler? Listen, we don't know what kind of backdoor talk goes on in the league. Obviously, it does go on in the league, right? Maybe it's possible. They're like, we can trade for Jimmy Butler. And then in 2019, KD is a free agent. And we'll have enough money to offer KD and be able to go over the cap to re-sign Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I think that's the only benefit if Jimmy Butler is in the Knicks' plans. And listen, I don't know, right? If Jimmy Butler is in the Knicks' plans, I think that is the only benefit to signing Jimmy Butler early is that you have his bird rights. I mean, not to signing him early, trading for him early, is that you have his bird rights. So if he's actually someone that the Knicks say, this guy is in our plans, and you know what? Knicks Film School will be able to give us a little bit more information on that. He'll be, Knicks Film School is coming on Thursday. I think he'll have a little bit more background. I don't want to say background knowledge, but he does the cap. That's what he does. And he's coming Thursday to specifically speak about the cap. We're really going to do a show based on the cap. And I think that he'll be able to maybe break that down for us a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think if we're all in for Butler, I really think Timmy has to be gone in some way. Whether
for sure.
in the Jimmy deal or in some other type of deal.
For sure.
Without Jimmy Butler right now, we already have a glut of guards.
Yeah. Right.
And
right.
And I think Jimmy Butler is better suited as a two guard with the ability to switch.
Yeah. Hey, give me 1 minute.
Forward,
hey, give me 1 minute. Hey, Flashy, you gotta chill, homie. You know what I'm saying? I got this over here. You tell me to put the phone on silent. It happens sometimes. Sometimes people got to get a hold of you or want to get a hold of you for specific reasons. You know what I mean? Keep it on cool, my brother. But all right, go ahead.
No, that's basically the gist of what I was saying. Yeah, Timmy's gonna have to be gone for that to work. And I still think if we go that route and we get Jimmy and then we get Kyrie, we're still in a top position in the East.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
The question is who's not going to be here after that? Like who's going to be gone?
Right. So
is it Timmy? Is it Lee?
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with that. And how much truth is to it, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know how much truth is really to it. Would the Knicks really be serious about Jimmy Butler? I myself believe that the Knicks are going to be patient. I believe that they are truly going to do it the right way. You know what I mean? I believe that they're not in a rush. What'd you say?
I said that's what they've shown. They've shown that they're not in a rush. They're not going to make any irrational moves. Right.
They're not in a rush. I believe that. I believe they're gonna make. I think they're gonna make the right moves, and so even if they've done some things that are questionable for me, I'm kind of like, all right, well, let me trust them. Let me trust them. Let me not wild out. Let me trust them a little bit, and see exactly, what the thinking is. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I am going to. See, we've been on for about 20 minutes. I'm going to open up the lines and take a call or two, see what these callers are talking about. You know what I mean? As far as Jimmy Butler is concerned, I know there's going to be some people that definitely want Jimmy Butler, some people that definitely want to stay away from Jimmy Butler. Taxstone, I'm going to tell Taxstone, because Taxstone, you said something that I don't respect in the chat. You know what I mean? You said I was disrespecting Tony Crow, and that I think the white man always has the numbers correct. Listen, it ain't about that. You know what I mean? If you're gonna come into the chat and get on some racist garbage, you can jump up out. And if I see something like that again, I'm gonna take you out. You know what I mean? It's not about nothing like that. We're talking about the Knicks. You know what I mean? We're talking about the Knicks. And if somebody has a specialty, somebody has a specialty. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna take a call. All right. Caller, who I'm speaking with, my man? Who's on the line?
Hey, it's Ryan from the Bronx.
Ryan from the Bronx. What's popping, bro? How you feel?
What's going on, my man?
I'm chilling, man. So I'm cool. I'm cool. So what's your idea? What's your thoughts on this New York Knicks, Minnesota Timberwolves, Jimmy Butler trade rumor stuff?
Again, that wants to come play for us next year. I think we should let it rock out this year and, develop our young guy. And just let Butler come next year if he wants to. This year should be an audition, for this young Knicks team to showcase, those potential free agents, so they could see, okay, what they could be possibly working with come next year if they decide to come to New York.
Okay.
That's how I feel about that.
Okay.
As far as a trade, now on the other hand, I would trade for him if you can dump Noah, Tim Hardaway, Courtney Lee. I know it's going to be impossible to dump three guys, but we could dump two of those three guys and acquire Jimmy. That's the only way I'll do it.
Okay. That's what Tony Crow was just saying. That's what Tony Crow was just saying. Tony Crow said, if you're going to do this, if you're going to do it, one of them guys got to go. You got to put one of them guys in the trade. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, as for which one to dump from Timmy or Courtney Lee, I mean, I really don't know because, would you take the consistent 10-point, 3 rebound, 2 assists from Courtney Lee? Or are you going to take the occasional 30-point game, from Tim Hardaway as long as as well as the, 2 for 16, 1 for 10 from three-pointer? It's hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, I prefer the consistency. I prefer knowing that I can have somebody that's going to give me 15 points every night. You know what I mean? Then someone who's going to give me 30 one night and then 5 the next night. You know what I mean? And then, 25 the next night, and 10 the next night. I like to know I got 15 points that I can count on. Now I need someone that's going to give me 20 points that I can count on every night or whatever it is. I like that consistency.
I agree. Yeah, I think, and besides, it kind of messes up the chemistry. If you have a guy scoring 5 points, one game and then 25 the next, and, it's like you said, I'd rather have the consistent guy on board, with us. And not only that, Courtney Lee could mentor the young guys too,
Yeah. Yeah. So My thing is this: if we're giving up, if we're trading a Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, I would throw Damian Dotson in there. I'm sorry, I know some people are going to hate me for it. I do like Damian Dotson, but I would throw Damian Dotson in there. You know what I mean? You know, if they wanted to have a young player, I'd throw Damian Dotson in there, and then you know, so if I'm giving up them three for Jimmy Butler, I'd do it. I'm not giving up a draft pick though.
Exactly. No. I mean,
who's the three?
Giving up draft picks, you know, and I hate it. You know, I hate it because I'm such a diehard Knicks fan. But you know, I hate to say, but that precisely is the reason why we've been trashed the last 20 years.
You're right.
You know.
You're right.
You know, and I saw someone mention in the chat, you know, Jimmy Butler would bring that Sprewell mentality, who's by far my favorite Knick ever. You know, we need that. You know, we need that dog in the franchise that's gonna sit there and push these young guys, kind of how he did 2 years ago, the Bulls. You know, we need that.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate the call, my man. All right. Hey,
thank you.
I don't know if you heard from the beginning of the chat, but I'm now keeping calls to 2 minutes. All right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because we got a lot of people calling in, so that's what's up, man.
Thank you for having me, Simeon. I appreciate you.
No doubt. I appreciate the call.
Later.
All right. Peace, my brother. So what I was telling him, Tony, is, you know, he was saying basically the same thing that you were saying. You know, if you're going to make some trades, if you're going to make some moves, you know, you got to add in, you know, one of those Joakim Noah, Courtney Lee, Tim Hardaway. You got to add in one of those contracts. And I was telling them, look, I mean, to be honest with you, Minnesota, if they're going to trade Jimmy Butler, they're going to want something young. They're going to want something in return. There's no doubt about that. You know, you don't trade Jimmy Butler, whose contract is going to expire in 2019, for contracts that's not going to expire until 2020, and you don't get nothing young in return, or you don't get a draft pick in return. So what I was saying to my man is, I would definitely throw in Dotson or something like that. Would Minnesota accept that? Probably not.
Hello.
But if I'm doing something like Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, Damian Dotson, I do it all day. You know what I mean? You know. That's what I was telling him. So
they all in the same position though. So that ain't gonna work.
Right. Exactly. They're all in the same position. I mean, you never know what happens. You know, sometimes teams do a trade, even though they have maybe duplicative positions, so they can, you know, and then they waive the guy, you know, things like that. They do it maybe to make the salaries match sometimes, depending on what they're getting. But that means that they've got to get something back that they really like. So I got a caller on the line. Caller, speak to me, man. What's popping, brother?
Sam, what's good, baby boy? This Carlito.
Carlito, 1 second, Tony. What's up, Carlito?
What's going down, my man? Yo, you know what I'm saying? I called last week, man. I started all that little static about my man Frank, man. But, yo, we got to stand together on this, man. We got something big on the table. I hear we trying to get Jimmy Butler.
I mean, the rumor out there is that the Knicks are looking to, that the Knicks have had preliminary conversations with Minnesota about Jimmy Butler. That's the rumor.
Yo, son, I'm going to be real with you, family. I'm not really feeling that. And listen, this is the reason why.
Okay.
I'm tired. Yo, I'm 40 years old, son. I was never around. I didn't get to see the first championship. And I done seen the times we done flipped and twisted the roster. And you know what I'm tired of us doing? I'm tired of us getting these bargain basement superstars. Okay. Jimmy Butler's a dog. He's good. I give him that. But you know what? I'm not feeling bringing him over here because, number one, he's not a top-tier superstar. And then number two, yo, he plays the three. Yo, I thought we were supposed to be using this year to help build up your man Kevin Knox and get him where he needs to be. To me, I think it'd be better for us to keep what we got, have a year where, you know, Kevin Knox gets to kind of work out the kinks and do his thing while Porzingis is hurt. Then let us get another good draft pick come June, and then boom, now we got another good young piece. And now we talking just in time for 2019 free agency.
Okay. I'm with you. I mean, he does play the two. He could play the two as well, though. You know, I will say that. You know, he definitely, when he was with the Bulls, he played the two. As a matter of fact, he might play the two now in Minnesota with Wiggins there as well. I think Wiggins plays the three.
Well, fam, if he's a two and we can dump him off. And, if he can play the two for real, then you know what, I'm all about it. Tim Hardaway piece, we can go ahead and send him packing. I know that your man Tibbs over there loves him some Joakim Noah, so I'm pretty sure we can work some out. So if we can play the two, then, let's bring him, just as long as it doesn't interrupt with my man Knox's development. Because, I'm telling you, I see superstar potential with that kid.
I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100% on that, for real. You know what I mean? Hey, what's your name again? Carlito, appreciate the call, my man. Yes, sir. Appreciate the call. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Peace. All right, my man. Tony. All right, so what was you about to say?
I was gonna ask you how do you feel about Jimmy Butler coming and Kyrie not coming, and having Frank and Jimmy Butler backcourt? All defensive backcourt.
I tell you what, that's definitely a defensive backcourt. I mean, that's a serious defensive backcourt right there.
Yo, what up, Sam?
I think that, if you got Jimmy Butler and you got Frank playing back there, you definitely have a defensive. Geez, 1 second, Tony. Hey, Ron Cleveland. Hey, Ron Cleveland, I got you on the line, but give me 1 second. Ron Cleveland coming up next, y'all. So be ready. But I still think a guy like Kyrie, and I'm not saying Kyrie, right? But I think a guy like Kyrie, Jimmy Butler still is, to me, not as fluent offensively as Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? My fear with Kyrie Irving, as everybody already knows, is the knees, right? But the way he can finish, the way he can score, Kyrie Irving, you just need someone like that, because he's just, he's almost unstoppable with the balls in his hand, with the ball in his hand. You know what I mean? But would I take a Frank and Jimmy Butler backcourt if it didn't hurt our future? Yes, I would. I definitely take it all day long, because you're gonna be shutting guards down, and if you didn't kick Kyrie, that means that you still have that money.
You can stop him.
Huh? You can stop them, right? You can stop them, but that means you still have that money. If you didn't get the Kyrie, you still have that money to get another player. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because if you don't sign Kyrie, that means that you save that money. So we'll see what happens there. I'm gonna get to Ron Cleveland. I know I got Ron.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What would you say is the only knock on Kyrie? And I'm not talking injury.
You're not talking injury. The only knock on Kyrie, and you're not talking injury. That's a good question. Kyrie can, listen, he can distribute, he can penetrate, he knocks down the big shots. I think the only knock that I would have would be that I would question is his intentions right coming to New York. He left Cleveland to be the boss and to have his own squad.
His game, though.
As far as his game, I don't know if I have a knock. I see people saying defense. I think defensively he's at least average. You know what I mean? I think he can play defense. Everyone's not going to be the all-world defensive player. And I think this is what okay. All right, see, Tony, you opened up something for me, man. Word up. You opened up something for me. And Ron Cleveland, stay on the line. I'm going to get to you, all right? I don't think people out here, and I don't think fans really understand. I don't think fans understand. It is not easy to play defense in the NBA. Every player that comes across the board, if you're not a lockdown defender, shutting everyone down, people say they don't play defense. They don't play defense. Dude, it is not easy to play defense in the NBA. These guys can score. Your weakest player in the NBA can score. You know what I'm saying? Staying in front of somebody one-on-one is not easy. You know what I mean? Because these guys have blazing speed. You got to get out there on the court and see what it's like to play against someone who has the kind of speed that they have. And then you come and tell me if these guys can play defense or not. You stand in front of Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, John Wall, and stand your ground without getting shook or taken to the basket. And then you come tell me that if you can play defense or not. Because you probably think that you are a good defensive player. You probably think that you are a lockdown defender until you get with one of them guys. And one of them guys shake your ankles off and you know, you go home crying to your wife that your knees hurt because you got shook. Okay, it is hard to guard these dudes in the NBA. You know what I mean? It is very hard. And Knicks Fan TV, not to mention the rules are now catered to the offense. Exactly. Back in the day, you could hand check, right? And you had guys real strong, you know, with your hand check, you know, you're holding guys back. You can push guys back. It is very, very hard to guard these guys one-on-one. You know, so I think sometimes it's very overrated when everyone is saying guys can't play defense.
I agree.
Instead of saying these guys can't play defense, how about saying these guys don't get their rotations right? They're late on their rotations. You know, they don't know when they're supposed to make the rotation because you're probably not going to guard these guys one-on-one. So you need the team to collapse in together and help defensively, man. So, yeah, you know, that's my soapbox on that. You know, I just get tired of hearing that all the time. You know what I mean? There are some guys, I'm sure, that just get beat every time down the floor. You know what I mean? But that's going to be almost all the players in the NBA. Go ahead, Tony.
See, I don't personally think he's a bad defender. I agree with you. I think it's not easy to defend in this league.
Yeah.
And he has effort. If you have effort, then that's half the battle as far as defense.
Exactly.
Because sometimes the other guy is not playing offense with as much effort as you're playing on defense.
Right. Right.
So I only ask that question is because I feel like we might have, with all the guards we might have somebody already who could play that Kyrie role.
Who you talking about?
And then if we have a defender like Butler and a defender like Frank as well, that could work too.
So who's that dude?
But,
Trey Burke. Trey Burke.
I mean, Burke has shown the scoring prowess so far, but I'm interested to see what Fizdale's gonna do with Moutier. It's make or break. Mario, I mean, he can pass the ball almost as good as a point guard. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he leads the team in assists, or is second in assists next year.
Okay.
And then yeah, I mean, I'm just saying we might have. Let's see what we have.
Let's see.
We got a lot of guards, and Moutier's still young. Burke is still young, and Burke has shown something. Yeah, but if we could get rid of Timmy and get Butler for the defensive backcourt, and then see what we got on offense with those other guys, I might rock with that.
Okay. And I want to give a shout out to CK2K in the building, in the chat, no doubt. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, definitely go check out his channel, subscribe. Got a real nice channel, you know, real nice Knicks channel. So go check them out. Hopefully, I'm gonna get my man on the show. We're gonna link up. We chatted a little bit. We're gonna link up. Yeah, for sure. So let me get to Ron Cleveland.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, Ron, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up? What's up, man? What's popping with you?
Man. What's up to the chat? What's up to everybody, man? Hey, I'm listening. I'm loving what's being said, man. Even the fact that we even talking about Knicks with great players. Think to us, man. Hey, that's an A+. That's an A.
Get somebody on the phone.
We get Butler.
You said say that again, Ron. You're kind of fading out a little bit, man.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep. There we go. That's better.
I'm gonna tell you why we get Butler.
Okay.
It's multiple reasons. Now, reason number one, of course, quite naturally, get Butler. You know, Butler and Kyrie are linked. That's gonna pave the way for him to come, Kyrie to come play with Butler.
Okay.
My other reason, this is what I've been thinking the whole time, man. If they're talking about this actually going down, I think it don't bode well for Tim Hardaway. Don't bode well for him. Staying with us long term, like I said before, everybody knows I've been saying, hey, I haven't been hearing much by way of what they're saying with his future with the Knicks, other than when Scott Mills was on that radio show, Stephen A. Smith. That's the only comment that I've heard the whole time about Tim Hardaway Jr. Now, you telling me I can get from under Tim Hardaway contract by moving him to Minneapolis? Who knows? We might even be able to move Joakim Noah. Package both them guys. Don't give up a pick, but send both of them guys. Even if we got to send Courtney Lee, I'll send all three of them. And the thing about Jimmy Butler, what I love, not just the defensive side of the game. With Jimmy Butler, if anybody watched Jimmy Butler's offensive game, he will not shoot you out of the game. He played within the floor of the offense.
Uh-huh.
He gets other people involved. When I look at Jimmy Butler, really what I see, Sam, man, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, man, but I see a mini Dwayne Wade, man. That's what I see. The way Dwayne Wade approaches the game and plays the game on the court, that's what I see with Jimmy, man. Jimmy is not going to kill you. He's not going to kill you on the court. So if we can get out of Tim Hardaway contract, now you got the door open. You know what I mean? Because they keep saying if that contract opens up, we can get a max contract. But if we can get Jimmy now and all we trade is Tim Hardaway, Noah, or maybe Tim Hardaway, Courtney Lee, hey, I'm cool with moving them boys to get Jimmy, man. And if you think about it, the writing on the wall with Troy Williams getting waived, I was shocked by it. Troy Williams getting waived is more than about just money. He wasn't getting paid much money. Where Troy Williams plays the game is very similar to Tim Hardaway Jr. Fizz is looking for people who's going to play the game the right way. We're not having players that's going to play street ball. We're not having that. Them days is over. We're not having that. We're going to play within the floor of the offense, and you ain't going to be on the Knicks roster. And that's what I'm seeing. They're looking for smart ball players.
Okay.
So what you think, Sam? What you think?
What do I think? I think you're right. I think they want smart, intelligent basketball players that have good basketball IQ, guys that's going to get out there, hustle, and play defense. Those are some reasons that I do like Jimmy Butler. My only issue is I don't want to give up our future for Jimmy Butler.
I'm with you on that.
I do not want to give up the future for Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, draft picks. I'm not touching on draft picks, and I'm telling you right now who's untouchable. I'm not trading Kevin Knox. I'm not trading Mitchell Robinson. And I'm not even trading Alonzo Trier. I'm not giving up neither one of them guys. And the reason why it's going to behoove is going to be in Minnesota's best interest to take the deal, what we can offer them, because Jimmy can walk for nothing. And the writing's on the wall with the fact that he rejected that contract. He rejected the contract. So hey, we in the driver's seat, man. We in the driver's seat. All these reports coming out about us, man. Hey, the Knicks will be back next season, man. Hey, y'all have at it.
All right, bro.
Love. Hey,
no doubt.
The rest of you get in. Hey, Sam, man, keep doing what you're doing. Knicks fan, hey, when the last time y'all think about this and y'all chew on this tonight? When the last time you heard this much rumors about star players wanting to come to the Knicks? That lets you know we on the right track.
I feel you. Hey, Ron, always appreciate the call. The chat is always excited to hear you. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it, my man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Hey, do what you do, man. Hey, love y'all, man. Later up.
Appreciate it, brother. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Okay. Folks, you know, we got some good things going on right now. For sure. You know, we got some real good things going on right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring over.
What's up?
Who you hear on the line right now is CK2K.
Yo.
What's popping with you, man? And I'm gonna get your video over in just a second. All right?
Yeah, man. No problem.
So,
I hope I don't sound crazy.
Nah, you chilling, man. I'm glad you called in. I'm glad you called in.
I saw the tweet and I had to join in, man.
Yeah. So what's your take? What's your take, man? What's your take on this whole Jimmy Butler, the Knicks, Minnesota, Jimmy Butler rumor?
You see me? I don't even know if this mic's connected. Anyways, no. Look, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you saw it. It's cool if you didn't. But I made a video about this, a few weeks ago. Just putting that energy in the air because I feel like we heard the whole rumor about Kyrie, you know, about him possibly wanting to be a Knick and all that stuff. And with him and Jimmy Butler, and this is even before he went to the Celtics, they wanted to be on the same team from when he was on Cleveland. They wanted to bring Jimmy over to Cleveland, and that, of course, didn't work out. Rah. So then I feel like for us to be able to bag Kyrie Irving the right way compared to pulling the Lakers and losing on Paul George like how they did, and that happening with us possibly in the future, and then everyone ended up going to Boston. I'm thinking, why not at least try to make a trade with, I know it's probably far-fetched. We probably might have to add a 2021 draft pick or something. But I feel like if we put in a Tim Hardaway, or we put in a Courtney Lee, or maybe a 2022 or 2021 pick, down the line, when even if we didn't make that move, we might be out of the lottery when it comes to the draft, possibly, just me wishfully thinking, I just feel like it wouldn't be crazy to entertain the idea. Not saying that the move might make sense, not saying that the move could possibly go through. I just felt like it was something we should entertain. And here we are now. It's looking like we in those first rounds, or the first, we finally getting a look at trading for Jimmy Butler. But to me, I'm all for it, man. I feel like you were saying earlier, and I loved how you said it. You said it so perfectly. Everyone is so stuck on the fact that Jimmy Butler they feel like he is not a good defender. But the thing is, you said it so perfectly. The NBA, it is so hard to be a on ball, one-on-one defender, and Jimmy Butler is not terrible at that. You know what I'm saying? People are talking as if he's we got some dudes on the team right now that look at Tim Hardaway. He ain't even a good one-on-one defender, and he would only be an upgrade. And that's the other thing I was saying in the chat is we got dudes that can play that team defense. So if he gets lost, he got a Knox, he got a when healthy KP down there. We got guys that can, like you were saying, putting him alongside Frank Ntilikina. Come on, man. So I just feel like, man, just the thought of that, it just gets, and I don't know, but I like it. I like the hope of aggression. But my main thing is, just as long as we aren't moving Frankie, we ain't moving Kevin, we ain't moving KP, we ain't moving, as long as we're not moving any of those pieces, I say why not? I say why not try and pull the trigger and see if we can get, Noah out, see if we can, make a move for some of these other contracts we got.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. If we don't touch our young guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just
don't touch the young guys.
Yeah.
We don't touch the young guys. We might as well take a chance to see what it is, especially if we're able to trade for him now. And I can fully understand you trade for him now, then you can go over the cap to fill out the rest of your team when he becomes a free agent in 2019. That would be the idea if they're really thinking about making a trade. I think that would be the idea, that they can then go over the cap to fill out the rest of the team. So
that's what I'm saying. And it's I understand we're pretty guard heavy, but obviously in this move, I feel like it'd be hard to make this move without having a Tim Hardaway in it. So then you swap one for the other. And I love Tim Hardaway. He impressed me when he was healthy towards the beginning of this last season, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'd be upset if we replaced Tim Hardaway with Jimmy Buckets. That's all I'm saying. Right. But I just feel like, that could be a stepping stone to, bringing in possibly a guy like a Kyrie Irving. And, you never know. And these are kind of things we're becoming attractive again, and exactly. I feel like this would just be another move to just help that,
Yeah.
that bowling ball roll.
Definitely.
I like it. Like I said, just as long as we're not too aggressive and we got, like I said,
And we're smart.
Frank in that deal.
Yeah, we smart. We think it through.
Yeah,
we think it through, and we don't just, we don't be desperate. Like when we were trading for Melo.
Because we're not desperate.
We're not desperate.
If we don't make the trade, oh well. Like we still
Exactly
possibly have a lottery pick. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna get to some of these guys that's here. You're welcome to stay in, but I'm gonna get to some of these guys that's here. That's ready to chat. I know who's Mark is ready to go, sitting here with no shirt on. Hey, who's Mark? Can you at least put a shirt on for me, man? Yeah, appreciate it. So while we're waiting for who's Mark to put a shirt on, I'm gonna get Reese Rose up here to talk a little bit. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
My bad. Sorry, I was looking at the chat.
Yeah. Oh no, that's cool. Rose, can you hear me?
Yo, what's up, bro?
How you feeling about this whole Jimmy Butler thing, man? What's up with it?
Man, I'm gonna get to that. First, I think we need to get rid of some contracts, and that Tim Hardaway contract. I feel like the Kings could take Tim Hardaway, and the way we do that is we trade him for, I think it was Iman Shumpert and Zebo.
Okay.
And let them come over here for 1-year rentals. We're going to lose anyway this year. We got rid of Tim Hardaway's contract. Even if we have to give him a second-round pick, I think we should do that.
Okay.
I think
listen, I wouldn't mind having Zebo. We don't have a bruiser on the team. As a matter of fact, we got a pretty soft team.
Yeah.
I would not mind having Zebo.
It's not like we keeping him.
Yeah, I would not mind having Zebo on the squad.
We do that trade. Iman Shumpert come back. If you want to play for us, he play for us. If not, it's whatever. The contracts match. Joakim Noah, we might have to stretch him. We can't find no one else for him.
Yeah. Now go ahead. I hear you. You good?
Yeah.
Where you from? Where you from, Rose?
I'm from New York, but I'm in Baltimore. I moved to Baltimore.
Oh, for real? Okay, you're in Baltimore. All right. You out the screen a little bit, my man. You out the screen. There you go. You in Baltimore. All right, that's what's up. I'm right outside of DC, my man. So that's what's up.
Yeah, I'm going to that first game in October 1st, the preseason game.
Okay. Yeah.
But we have to stretch Joakim, and I saw the trade for Carmelo. I don't know if you saw that trade. Trade Carmelo, and then we what was it? We waived it. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that. As a matter of fact,
that trade could really help us get rid of Courtney Lee.
It could.
And OKC could. Yeah, they could keep Courtney Lee. So that's how we get rid of all those contracts. Okay. And in 2019, we could sign Butler. I don't know if we have enough money to sign both Butler and Kyrie. I'll prefer to have Butler because it'll complement Frank better.
Okay. Hey, great take. You're welcome to stay in the chat. I'm going to get on. I know who's Mark is burning to talk.
Yes,
so I'm going to get who's Mark up there. He got a shirt on or whatnot. So appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Love.
Tim Hardaway.
All right, who's Mark? You on, man. You on. What's going on with you, bro?
So this is what we do as Knicks fans. We debate about keeping Tim Hardaway when we have Jimmy Butler wanting to come. Is this what we doing? Is this what we doing?
I don't know if anybody was debating about keeping Tim Hardaway. I think most people was like they would be willing to move Tim Hardaway.
I've been watching the chat and people saying they don't want Butler. What do you mean you don't want Butler? You put Butler with Fizdale to implement this defense? Are you kidding me? Anywhere Jimmy Butler goes, that team goes up defensively. They don't go down ever. He's a star player. He ain't a superstar, but he's a star player. And if we bring him here, it's almost like a domino effect. That now, if we have him, another guy gonna come look. Okay, we got Porzingis and we got Butler, and then we can add Kyrie. Because you got to understand something now. We have to land these stars so other stars can come for us. And if we land Jimmy Butler with the Knicks, that's just gonna help Kevin Knox's defense. That's going to help his development. Just off Jimmy Butler's work ethic is going to help him. It ain't going to deteriorate his game whatsoever because the way Kevin Knox play, he come on screens, he's a standstill shooter. He don't necessarily needs the ball. So that would help him develop. Just look at Tatum in Boston. The same thing that would happen with Kevin Knox. Kyrie here, that'll be weakening Boston, and we'll be on top when you really think about it. Because if Boston lose Kyrie, they ain't gonna be the winners. They're gonna get weak because they showed you in the playoffs they needed that. That playoffs was calling for Kyrie to go. So why wouldn't you want Butler to implement him with this Fizdale defense, this dog defense? And when people talk about Kyrie and his weaknesses, he plays defense in spurts. He's not a 48-minute guy, but when he wants to play defense, he will play it. And he has like no offensive weakness in his game whatsoever. Whatsoever.
I'm with you there.
Whatsoever.
I'm with you there.
If we want to get to the promised land,
mm-hmm.
You need one of those, because when you watch Kyrie, he destroys Golden State single-handedly. They can't do nothing with him. The only reason why Golden State wins is because of the collection of talent, and they play the game the right way. So if you have Kyrie, Butler with Frank, come on, man, and Kevin Knox, and then Porzingis in the back, that's also explosive and has some dog in him too. This whole theory of KP being a softie, where? When I watch him, he takes on to the challenge.
Well,
go watch him when he go.
Well, you know me, you know we disagree about that. You know we disagree about that.
Listen, you can go. You can. I remember when he went against DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. He took over that game. Over that game.
He might get hot offensively, but I also remember Boston throwing his ass to the ground every play too.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you something. What Boston did to him.
They threw his ass to the floor.
Because he was the only offensive weapon they was throwing bodies at him. If we have other threats on our team, it will be easier for Porzingis to get his shots. But because we have some talent, they're gonna triple and double him.
Okay. All right.
That's what they do.
Okay.
So if you're gonna have one, so if you're having one star by himself, of course Boston's gonna be like, okay, I'm going to send every single guy. I'm going to send 3 people at him at one time so he can give up the ball so he can let these other scrubs shoot. That's what they do to him. But to say he's weak and that he don't want it?
I ain't say he don't want it. I just said I just say weak and he needs to get some strength. He needs to get some strength. But Pivot, I'm gonna let Vivek get in. All right. And do me a favor, man. Can you get some light so we can get a good let's get some light. Let's get some light up here.
You know, it's hot in New York, man. You gotta dim the light so you can,
I feel you, but only a little bit of time. Vivek, what's popping, man? How you feel?
Hey, Simeon, how are you doing? Can you hear me properly?
I can hear you perfectly.
All right, thank you. So, look, I would take Jimmy Butler all day, any day. He's a first-team all-defense 2, 3. Great asset. Only thing is, I'm looking at a trade. Right now, both teams are above the cap. So I looked at a couple scenarios.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I had who's marked. Sorry about it. But I have a couple scenarios that might be kind of interesting. You could do a situation where you trade Lee. You can trade Lance Thomas. His last year is partially guaranteed. I think only $1 million is guaranteed in his last year. So he's kind of an attractive asset. And then maybe you can include Dotson. If you really want to bait Minnesota, you can put Burke in there just for the heck of it. I don't know. That's one option I would consider. Other option thing is if you include Noah, they're gonna ask for a bigger asset in a sort of a pick, which I'd rather not do at this moment because they're going to start asking for the next year's pick. And no offense to Jimmy Butler, but we're only going to get about 37 wins with him anyway. So you don't want to be in that situation where, you're kind of in that pot. But so if you want to put Noah, then they're going to ask for Frank or they're going to ask for a pick. So, I mean, ideally, try to get maybe a deal with Lee, Lance Thomas, and I don't know, one of the young guys, Dotson, Burke. I don't care who it is. But that's really my opinion on the deal. One thing I was considering, I was kind of down on. I was mentioning in the chat about Kyrie's defense. The one main positive, though, with Kyrie over Butler is that he's a legit 3-point threat, whereas Butler is not really a big 3-point threat. I looked at his numbers. He averaged, I think, only about a 3 a game, pretty much his entire career. Now, if you combine our roster right now, Frank's not a 3-point shooter yet. Knox has to still learn that. You kind of want to have a 3-point shooter in there. So, if you have Kyrie, you have a legitimate 2 or 3 threes a game kind of threat. But
okay.
Hopefully we can see what happens, and that's what that's it.
All right. Good call. I'm gonna get to. I see Isaiah just joined in on us, and then I'm gonna go back around and get to everybody else in the chat. And I know you guys, I got you muted just so that we don't get the background sound and noise and all that stuff, so people can talk. And then because what happens, people start talking over top of each other. So yeah, Isaiah, what's popping, man?
What's popping, Sim? You can hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. So with everything that you've heard, we have Vivek, we have Who's Mark, CK, 2K, Reese, Rose, Tony should be coming back. What's your take on everything?
Listen, man, I've been saying it in the chat. Now, I just, Sim, I want to ask you this. I want to ask everybody right now. Are you comfortable paying Jimmy Butler $40 million when he's 35?
How old is Jimmy Butler right now?
He's going to be 30 he's 29 right now, but he's going to be 39.
Broke up on us.
You comfortable paying him?
Yeah, you broke up on us, man.
I'm breaking up?
Yeah, you breaking up. I'm going to have to let you,
Wait, hold on one second.
All right. We're going to come back around. CK2K. Hold on, let me get you. There we go. CK, what's your take on everything you heard? And then I want to move on to this Troy Williams thing.
Yeah. Well, I just want to answer that question. Jimmy's 28. So you'll be what? 28. 29, 30. So I think down the line we wouldn't be paying him $40 million. Just to answer his question. I loved what Vivek said. He was right. I think he made a lot of good points. A lot of people, are missing. And Mark made some points too. He out there, but he made some points too. He's cracking me up. Mark was cracking me up, man. But I said my piece, man. I feel like we should pull that trigger as long as we are not moving any crazy. I don't agree with like Vivek said. I don't think we should give the 2019 pick at all. Like I've been saying 2020, 2021, maybe like they can have those first rounds, but. Yeah, even if we get him in at most maybe 40 wins, 39 wins, So I wouldn't incorporate any 2019 pick, but I'm still trying to find this Carmelo Anthony thing. I didn't know this was a situation.
Actually, it's not. It's just something that actually the other night we had just a little extra round table after the live stream, and we had a discussion, and Mark asked me would I trade for Carmelo Anthony for his contract and then waive him? So, yeah. Which is actually a very good idea, I think. I think it would be a good idea. I mean, basically, if OKC would accept some form of a package, right, where there was, let's say, Enes Kanter and Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm just making something up.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I see what you're saying. Got you.
And then you bring Carmelo Anthony back for that $28 million, and then you waive him. Because then what happens is you have $28 million in 2019. You have that $28 million that you can use for a free agent. Because his contract expires. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For a second there, I'm like, how are we gonna make that work? I get what you mean.
Right.
I'm not against it. I feel like we should stay away from that. Like
stay away from Carmelo Anthony altogether.
Yeah, just let the Thunder work that out elsewhere to get him to Houston or LA. I just feel like that whole Phil Jackson thing burned that bridge. And regardless, but the only thing I could agree with, like, if we're maybe, I don't know, if we're getting rid of like Noah's contract or something in that process, then yeah. But that I just feel like that's a hard sell. I feel like that's a super hard sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so hey, I like it. I like that plan. And with that, I'm with it. Like you said, we get that money back.
Yeah. So I need everybody. I need people who just enter. What I need you to do, I need you to turn it down in the background. All right, because whatever you're doing, you have sound going on in the background, and we can hear you over top of other people speaking. So you got to make sure that it's turned down. All right, so you got to make sure it's turned all the way down. All right. So right now, somebody still has it on. Okay. I think I turned somebody off who had it on. All right. All right, CK2K. Yep. And Vivek, I think your mic is open. Your mic open, Vivek?
Me? Yeah, I think Vivek, no, I think he's muted.
Oh, he's muted? Let me see if I can get him open, because I know he had I thought it was open. All right, well, let's see who else we got here. We got Danny. Danny that just joined us. We got Tony Crow is back. We got another guest, but we don't have his name up. All right, so we're going to try to get these guys on the line and speaking. Danny, what's popping, man? Can you hear me? What's going on with you, man? Talk to me a little bit. So tell me what you think about. I think we talked about Jimmy Butler enough. What do you think about what happened with Troy Williams?
I think it's crazy how Ron Baker's still on the roster. Troy Williams, he doesn't really stand out as far as like against the other dudes on the roster that kind of have the same skill set. So I'm not really tripping about him getting waived in general, because we have a bunch of guys that are almost in the same mold. But it doesn't make sense to waive him when Ron Baker's still in the squad. And that's my take on that. Okay. I don't really think he was a big part of the future per se. Like, now we lost the future in Troy Williams. Like, I'm not really tripping about him. But it don't really make sense to me when you got Ron Baker on the team making more money in the first place, which is stupid.
Okay. Do you think, given that these Jimmy Butler rumors are out, given that these Jimmy Butler rumors are out, do you think that the Knicks waiving Troy Williams had anything to do with Jimmy Butler? Because it can't be, in my opinion, it can't be just about $100,000. That's pennies.
You know I think the Knicks are just posturing for next year. I feel like they're not really going to go too hard for Jimmy, but they're going to let him know that they're interested, so he might be more inclined to come through next year when he's a free agent. Number two, as far as Jimmy, I'm going to keep it real brief. I don't think he's bringing us to a championship, first and foremost. And I think he's just going to interfere with a lot of dudes' growth. He needs the ball in his hands, like point blank period. We already got KP. We already got Tim Hardaway as far as the dude who got in the hand. Everyone else kind of complements them. Knox, Mitchell, slashers, Frank, more of a playmaking dude. You bring Jimmy into the mix, not only is he bringing his ego, his controversy in the locker room, he likes to call people out, shit like that. He's already 30. I'm not really like sold on him. I know it feels really good to get that love again in New York, but I mean, look at Golden State. They didn't add no big piece when their main guys was developing. The Thunder didn't add no big piece when their main guys developed. They let them develop, and they fucking got all MVPs. So let our guys develop, man. Forget Kyrie, forget Jimmy. These dudes ain't bringing us no shit. And they got to stay healthy. I'd rather us do it the long haul way. Let these young guys start building up, get nice. They have a lot of potential. Why not let Fizz be their head coach and mold them and get them some stripes? That's how I feel about that.
Okay. All right. All right, good take. Let me see. I'm gonna open up. I don't want to butcher your name, my man. Guillermo. Hopefully I said it right. All right, but I'm gonna open you up so we can hear what you got to say if I can get it there. All right, so what's poppin', man? How do I say your name again now?
It's Guillermo. It's not my real name, but
Guillermo. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Danny, man. Like, I think one thing at the Knicks, like, you gotta stop acting like this. So many times, man, we want to go after these superstars that are a little bit more aged or that kind of on the back burner, and like we don't want to develop organically. I just remember when we had Donnie Walsh, I think he's one of the more underrated GMs in our timeline, when he was building up that team with Wilson Chandler, Gallinari, D'Antoni as the coach. I'm not a big D'Antoni fan, but you had a system that was in place, right? The Knicks at one time was second in offensive efficiency. We were close to the 7-8 seed. And I remember that year that guys started to develop. Like Gallinari was finally going to the basket and throwing fouls. Wilson Chandler was putting up 16, 17 points a game. You had that was putting up 18 and 6 with Stoudemire, and he missed just being an all-star just because of Rondo's ridiculous year. And what did we do? We crashed all that because the owner wanted Carmelo. And I'm not saying that this situation is the same thing, but we got to look at the Jimmy Butler situation. Like, look, there's certain guys that they make their players better, right? Through whatever means. Jimmy Butler's not a guy who makes guys around him necessarily better. He's a good player, right? He's 40%, I think 47% plus from field goal, high 30% from the three-point line. But this is a guy that was calling out teammates in Chicago. He's with the Timberwolves. You got talented guys, and I'm not saying Wiggins is a superstar, but he obviously has some type of talent. You got Karl Anthony Towns, and instead of making those guys better, he calls them out, right? So what the Knicks need right now, we're at a really fledgling stage right now, right? Fizdale needs to kind of instill a culture. He needs to instill a system where he's the head of that group, right? So when you look at the Boston Celtics, who's the head of that group? You can say Danny Ainge, but it's also the coach, right? You can't have a guy like Jimmy Butler that's going to come in and be divisive in the locker room, who's going to be screaming on KP or screaming at some of these younger guys and causing a rift, especially when the coach is trying to instill a culture. So I'm not really big on Jimmy Butler. And I don't like these guys who all of a sudden they want to come to the Knicks. But I didn't hear them want to come to the Knicks when they were in their primes or whatever, blah, blah. So to me, Jimmy Butler thing, I don't really care for. Let's keep the guys we have now. Let's develop Frank in the post. Let's develop a game where we can have it so that Frank develops and builds with that confidence. Because we've seen him when he has confidence, he can play. Same thing with Mario Ozania. He's a guy who comes in, he's with the Magic, who had a lot of turmoil or whatever, and they weren't developing right. But he shows some offensive skill. And that's the guy that can develop with the team. He's only a one-year deal, but I'd rather keep the guys we have now and not trade assets so you could bring in a Jimmy Butler, who can put up points but hasn't won anything, right? This is not a Chauncey Billups. This is not, even a Chris Paul who, can rattle teammates, but he makes his guys better. We're not bringing that, so I'd rather stay away from that. And the Troy Williams thing, I'll be really quick with the Troy Williams thing. I heard that there's a little bit of rift with him and Fizdale in Memphis. I don't know if that's factored in, but like Danny said, Troy Williams, he may not be, a world beater, but he's a lot more valuable than Ron Baker, who I don't know what he's done besides take, elbows to the face to get a black eye. But, Troy Williams at least shows that, look, you put Troy Williams on the Spurs, I'm not saying he becomes a 15, 16-point game guy, but that's a valuable piece on the bench in terms of explosion, another body who could cover some guys, maybe develop a little shot. So I don't know. I didn't really like the move, especially when we got, no offense, bums like Ron Baker and the teams.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm the whole thing with Troy Williams. It was the first time with this regime that I was a little bit disappointed. First time that I was a little bit disappointed because I just feel that Troy Williams. I feel that Troy Williams is he's one of the he's what Fizdale, Scott Perry. To me, he epitomizes the way that they want to play the basketball game, right? He plays defense. He plays fast. He hustles. He may not be the best offensive player, may not have the best IQ, But he does epitomize those things. And I think if you're building a culture, you got to have guys there that epitomizes those things.
And can I just say one more really, really quick thing? I don't want to keep that people to, like you said about like the defense and players coming in and all that stuff. Like that's a great point. But another thing is that some guys just bloom late, man. Like I had a cousin, like he played for LIU, whatever, and he was nice, but he never got a chance. And it's like you look at him, he'd be like, why didn't he get a chance over some guys? And some guys that happens until they get to the NBA, where it's like they don't have a coach or assistant that truly believes in. And I think that kind of happened with Troy Williams. Some guys just get it late. Like I can literally see Troy Williams, catching on with say a Spurs or some team that's going to give him a chance to go out and say, hey, look, give me 10, 15 minutes a night of hard defense, rebounding. I'll give you 3-4 more extra shots where you just have the green light. That's how, and I'm not comparing him to Kawhi Leonard, but that's what Popovich did with Kawhi Leonard when he got drafted. He was like, hey, give me 10, 15 minutes. If you're playing hard defense and playing the right way, and I'll let you. They said they didn't have a system for him. They just let him shoot and let him develop. And I think, I'm not saying Kawhi, I'm not comparing Troy to Kawhi Leonard, but when I looked at Troy Williams, I watched him this summer, and I'm like, oh, this kid is starting to get, it's starting to come about. Like, he's starting to get that confidence. He's playing with the word swagger. And, I just I would hate to see him go to another team like Toronto. Gave a lot of those guys last year, like OG Anunoby.
Okay.
He did some opportunities. They shine. So
yeah,
this is what it is. Yeah,
all right. All right. I'm gonna let Isaiah, since since you finished eating now, I had to cut you off, man, because you making everybody hungry. You got fried chicken, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Mark, chill out.
Yeah. So what's your point with what do you think about this whole thing with Troy Williams? I was disappointed. Right? I was disappointed. I think that he epitomizes what we say we're gonna be about. I want to hear from you about it, and then I'm gonna take a call, and then I'm gonna let everybody get around in again, and then we'll try to get some new people in.
All right. Well, real quick, about Troy Williams, I'm gonna say this. I thought about it because I was feeling the way you was feeling when I first heard about it, but then I thought about it. I was like this. Then I saw a tweet. A tweet said, someone said, think about it. Was he gonna beat Kevin Knox and Mario for minutes? And I thought about that. I was like, he's not gonna beat Knox or Mario for minutes. At best, Troy Williams, at best on a good team is on garbage time player. That's who he is. I know I know I see you, but it's just I don't he's not gonna be a major contributor. Now, he can show people the right way to how to play on the bench, but after that, I just don't see him. He's not gonna get minutes over crucial minutes over Mario or Knox or Lance, to be honest with you. But again, it was either going to be him or Ron Baker, but I don't know. It's going to be one of them. So,
I do agree with you there. He wasn't going to get minutes over Kevin Knox or whoever else you had there at the 3. I do think that he could have gotten some minutes. I'm hoping for one or two things. That either it's a step for a bigger move. I don't know what that $100,000 would mean, but either it's a step to a bigger move, or Troy Williams' agent, his people, they went out. They said, listen, this team is willing to give us a 2-year deal, a 3-year deal, maybe the same amount of money per year, but, a little bit longer deal. And the Knicks just did him a solid and said, we're going to let you go. We'll let you go out and get your deal since you're not really going to find that many minutes here. And there it goes.
And like you just said, that too, because, that probably, to me, that's probably what happened was that, hey, his agent looked at the reality of the Knicks and was like, you got this young kid, Kevin Knox, who's balling. You got a 23-year-old Mario that's going to be playing. It wouldn't be a lot of minutes for Troy to show he can. At the end of the day, he's trying to earn his next contract, and he's not going to show enough on garbage time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about maybe it was a mutual decision for both of them.
Yeah.
And we can go on the Melo thing real quick. Like Brian said, we Melo alone. we ended that on the best note I think we can.
Okay.
Until the day he wants to retire. I think we ended that on the best way until he wants to retire. If he wants to retire Nick or whatever, I think we should just leave him alone. Let somebody else do that. I'm Gucci on that. If we moved on from Melo moved on from us, we
Just
Gucci.
let it rock. Just let it rock. Okay, I'm with you.
My man's look like Cantor a little bit. My man's in the chat. He look like Cantor a little bit.
Hey, Danny, he said you look like Cantor, man.
You
say you look like an ass Cantor, man. All right, man. Isaiah,
All right, man,
appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna take a call right now, and then we'll get back to you guys, and we'll let you guys get around.
I'm gonna go back to Ian because I was hungry.
All right. Talk to me, caller. Who I got on the line? Talk to me. What's popping with you?
Yo, this is Jerome. This is Jerome.
What's going on, Jerome? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Word.
All right, so right now we're talking about Troy Williams and the reasons why Troy Williams were possibly waived. All right, I'm gonna put 2 minutes on the clock. I got 2 minutes for you, man, to get your piece off. All right, what you think about it?
Well, the thing about it is, I don't want to talk about Troy Williams.
Say that again.
I don't want to talk about Troy Williams or the trade.
All right, you want to talk about Troy Williams? So what's up?
I said I don't.
Oh, you don't? You don't?
Nah, what I want to talk about is what we all thinking about that we always say.
What's that?
Think about this. Ain't nobody talking about having Andrew Robertson, KT, Kevin Knox, and Frank Ntilikina on the court at the same time.
I mean, we've talked about that though, bro.
That's a real big fall.
We've talked about it. We've talked about it in other shows. You know what I'm saying?
Talked about it, but it's not like. I mean, why? That's why we so happy right there. For real. Like, that's why we like, yo, we trade anybody except these people.
I don't know, man. I don't know what you're saying, bro. You breaking up on me. You're losing me. I'm losing you.
I'm breaking up.
Talking that nonsense.
All I'm saying is, like, those 4 players as a core, you know what I mean? That's real solid.
Okay.
Because they all got 7-inch wingspan.
Oh, I feel you.
And Mitch is out the roof, KP out the roof, Knox is out the roof. I'm just happy, and I see the time winding down. You don't hear me. I'm breaking up and all that, so I'm going to hang up. But I love what you're doing. Shout out to the chat.
Appreciate the call, bro.
The wingspans.
Yeah.
The left, we out here.
I got you.
We out here.
Appreciate the call, man.
I see it.
All right, peace.
One.
Peace. All right, Danny. Go ahead. Give us your last take, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah. My fault. Put it on mute, so y'all don't hear me and shit.
Yeah, there you go.
My last take is, man, I think we can all agree it's so easy for every year to be so excited and have the craziest expectations. But I kind of got tired of it after, like, the last 10 years. So I'm kind of just staying real even keeled and, letting shit develop as it goes. I think we got a lot of potential. A lot of it has to do with our X and O's. We've been playing like an outdated way. Hopefully Fizdale brings some type of new flavor to this whole system. Everyone seems excited. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time to be a Knicks fan, I guess. We're going to see. I like Mitchell. I like Kevin Knox. Let's see how they play.
All right. Appreciate it. I just, I'm going to tell you, and everybody, try to, I know it comes out every once in a while, but let's try to, keep the language. And the reason why, I get it.
Lots of money.
When I went to the draft and I met a little kid, that watches the show regularly, and the kid was like, 9 years old, you know what I mean? So, want to be respectful to them.
Yeah, I got you. Nah, they was talking cricket, this type of vibe.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Have a good one, Danny.
Yeah,
Cancer.
Yeah,
you do look like Cantor a little bit. I gotta give it to him. You look like him a little bit. I
look way better than Cantor. Don't try to play.
All right, man. Have a good one, bro.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for calling. Thank you for coming on.
No doubt.
All right, we're gonna get Danny out of there. Vivek, you up next, my man. If I can get you up there, there we go.
Yes,
Vivek.
yes. Just one last thing. The Troy Williams thing. He was, I think, had a $1.5 million unguaranteed deal, where I think the guarantees go based on stages. So by August 1st, it was, I think, $100K. By October 1st, it was about, I think, like $500,000 to $600,000.
Yeah.
And by the start of the season, he was guaranteed about, I don't know, it wasn't the full amount. It was about $1 million. So I think the rationale was that they wanted to give Troy and his agent enough time to find another team. Because as everyone said, his minutes weren't going to look as high, and if someone's going to give him a better contract, this front office is what we've seen over the last year or so. It's all about developing relationships, and one part of developing relationships is between the agents and the front office. So if they can do Troy and his agent a favor, but I believe his agent is actually part of that Andy Miller group, so it's the same group that KP is part of too. Do the agent a favor, let his client find an opportunity. That's really what it's all about.
Okay.
Second thing, real quick, the whole Melo situation. The reason that the Knicks is going to be out of the picture is because their main goal is to try to reduce their luxury tax bill. They have a $150 million potential luxury tax hit this year. So by taking an expiring contract, like even Cantor, right? They're going to still have to foot that luxury tax bill. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get rid of as many contracts as they can. So the Timmy and Cantor situation, that's not going to help them one bit.
No, I get what you're saying there. I just use that as an example.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I was just saying that I think their rationale for trying to move Melo is to just get as little bit under the cap,
right,
or a little bit under the luxury tax bill as best as they can.
Right.
So that's why they're even thinking of stretching him or whatever. So I don't see the Knicks as a part of any sort of situation. I think they'll end up stretching him, in my opinion.
But I would say this: if they can find a team, and I'm not saying it's the Knicks, but if they could find a team where they can trade Melo, even if they bring back contracts, they can still waive those contracts or stretch those contracts or whatever it is, so that they still free up that $150 million.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But they may bring back, but they may bring back a young person that can, a young player or a draft pick or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. That is very true. I thought the Nets could have done it if they wanted to, but I don't think a deal worked out for them in that sense.
Right.
But I think that they'll probably do a similar situation like you just mentioned. I don't know what team off the top of my head. I think when you have Knicks Film School on Thursday, he has a breakdown of I think all the other teams too, so he might be able to provide a better explanation. But I'm gonna let someone else get on. Thank you very much, Timmy.
I appreciate you, man. Definitely appreciate you. And we're gonna come on, Guillermo. It's on you, my man. Think you gotta unmute your phone. Yeah. Breaking up on me, bro. Breaking up.
You're letting go. And I before Larry Brown got rid of him, and that was for a reason.
Hey, Guillermo, it's breaking up. I can't hear you at all. Everything's breaking up real bad. The sound is breaking up pretty bad.
Hear me now?
Yeah, it's still breaking up. Well,
hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. It's a little better.
Yeah, I was just saying, man, like, what it reminded me of was
Corey Brewer. And I hate giving up those type of aspects, man. It's like, look, it's not going to take major minutes away from Azonia or Knox. But, you know, you don't want to rush Knox and play the kid 40-some minutes a night, right? You need somebody to come off the bench and play that dirty ball, come in and hit 8-10 points, you know. Good defense. I just hate giving up passes. I think we screwed up, you know, when D'Antoni got that nice windfall, even though he didn't like Anthony Randolph, guys like that. Like, if you're development, be the guy to find guys mold of Popovich, guys who can find diamonds in a rough. A guy like Jordan put up. Like, Ron Baker, that's just a problem. I don't know what to find in him, but, you know, a guy who play defense who has never get context.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. But
okay.
I don't know what it is. I hope they develop history, give him the 5-7 shots a game in the G League, develop his jump shot a little bit. Not too much, but, you know, give him more finishing muscle, build a bit of muscle. Kevin Knox, you know, sky's the limit, but games be team, man. Fizdale has to instill that culture, man. That's what's going to amount to, you know, win. We don't need 40, 50 wins next year, but we get to 30-some wins and we have a new mentality. You know, we play the top teams up.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll flip some of the asses. You know, even tomorrow, these guys got to go. They just, you know, long term, I don't see them.
Hey, Guillermo, we still having a hard time hearing you. I got most of it.
All right.
But yeah, I appreciate it, bro.
I'll see you on the chat, man.
All right, man. And CK, I'm gonna get to you now.
A lot of great points, man. A lot of great points. My final thought, though, I think it was Danny had started the conversation, and something I agree with heavily. I feel like the main thing, my final point is I love that we finally have a brain trust that is about growing the team the right way, you know, going from within and getting the right pieces to, you know, maybe not now, maybe not next year, but down the line, you know, like the Warriors blueprint kind of thing. I hate using that example, but the fact that we'll have our own players from within that have the potential to be to make our team a contender and be a spot for future free agents to come through. Now, with that being said, the reason why I am so aggressive on the Jimmy Butler thing is it'd be different if we were putting in players that were in the same position as, you know, as KP or someone that's in the same position as Kevin Knox. So then that would like slow down their, you know, their growth. But, you know, we got Kyrie that would be able to, you know, play the point. Because let's be honest, you know, as much as I love Frank, if you watch my channel, you know I love Frank. But Frank he's one of those guys that he's going to be like a Greek freak, where it's going to be like a year 4 kind of things where we can see what he'll actually be, in my opinion. So to have like a Kyrie there who can be the starting point guard, and then have him coming off the bench for a little bit, and then, you know, let Frank come up. And again, I'm speaking completely future context right now. I'm talking like, you know, after 2019, the most possible situation or most positive situation. But I just feel like we have the opportunity to get some pieces that can go along and that I feel like can mesh with the youth that we have on our team, rather than getting, you know, I hear people talking about, you know, as great of players they are, but talking about like Greek freak and guys that will Anthony Davis, which would be great, but guys that will stunt like your boy KP and stunt Kevin Knox and stuff like that. And I feel like those would be moves where we'll just be backtracking and just bringing in players to bring in players, and then we implode again and we have a situation where we don't know what we're doing. And that's the only reason why I'm so heavy on Jimmy Butler and Kyrie. But I like I said, long we keep our core together. I feel like we should be a little bit aggressive, but not too aggressive. We can't get them. Move on to 2019, and, you know, look forward to the draft. Let's we gonna have money, so bring in the right pieces that can help these guys grow. We need some vets that can, you know, get these guys on their way. But I liked everything that was said, and I was really glad to be a part of this and hear what you guys.
Yeah, I'm
have
glad
said.
you called in, man. I'm really glad you called in.
No doubt.
Yeah. When is the next video dropping, man?
I'm working on it tonight, and that's why when I saw the tweet, I'm like, oh, I have to see what you're saying. But it should be what's today? Wednesday. Hopefully Friday. Friday should be dropping for sure.
Man, I'll be looking forward to it. Definitely.
Appreciate
Keep doing what you're doing. I love
you.
your videos, man.
Man, back at you, man. Back here.
Yeah.
So glad I'm finally able to make one, man. So glad.
Appreciate it. All right,
y'all.
Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna let Who's Mark get on. Who's Mark? I'm gonna let you take it away. Let me see if I can get it over here. Who's Mark? Let me unmute you. Let me unmute you. Okay, there we go, Mark. You on, man?
I've been looking forward to it.
Mark.
You know what you're doing. I love your videos, man.
Okay, I guess I gotta go ahead. Mark is listening to the stream, so once he hears it on the stream, then he's gonna realize that he's on. You know what I'm saying? So now he's smiling. So Mark just realized that he's on. Mark.
Who's Mark?
You can hear me?
I'm waiting for you, bro. You gotta turn that stream down in the back, man.
Bombs away. Let me ask you a question.
Hold up. You gotta turn that down in the back. All right. Hold on.
All right, we good.
All right.
We good.
There we go. Cause you know, you hurting guys' ears and whatnot, bro. You still, yeah, man, I'm good. I'm talking to you now. You still got that on in the back though. We can hear the echo. Can you hear me? What's up, Mark? Mark, yo.
You good?
Yeah, man, I'm waiting for you. I don't know, man. I guess Mark.
My bad. Let me ask you a question.
All right.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Hold on. My shit is down. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with you, Mark. You sleeping over there.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you. I could always hear you. I'm waiting for you to respond to me.
All right. Yeah, let me ask you a question.
All right.
If Jimmy Butler and Kyrie came, right?
Uh-huh.
And how can I say this? Our 4 young players that we have, Frank. Yo, what is up with this shit?
Yo, stay cool with the language, bro. We trying to keep it clean. We're gonna come back to you, man. We're gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come back to you, Mark. All right, when you get everything straight.
We can't develop Knox how.
Okay, are you good?
Let's
are
say,
you good?
like, you see how Paul George developed behind Danny Granger? Why can that be a possibility?
Why can't it be a possibility that Kevin Knox develops behind who? That Kevin Knox develops behind who?
Yeah, refresh.
Okay, Mark is gone. I don't know what happened to him. So we're going to move on with it. We're going to take a call. Who am I speaking with?
Hello.
What's popping? What's going on with you, bro? Jose, what's happening with you, man?
Yeah, man, I'm a big fan.
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm a big fan. Yeah,
Appreciate
I got you on the stream right now, but I guess I'm a little bit behind. That dude, Mark, man, he got me laughing.
Yeah.
Man, I've been trying to get into you, man. I've been calling for like the past half an hour almost, man.
Now, I'm glad I got you on, brother.
Man, I'm a fan, bro. Before I know I only got a minute or two.
Yeah,
but
you got like
I want to go and let you know, man, I watch you every day, bro.
Appreciate
For
that.
real. I got you on YouTube there, man. Man, it's a good channel, man. But let's go talk about Troy. That dude Troy is garbage, man.
Okay.
When he was playing, I mean, he's running up and down the court like a psycho. I don't know, man. I think the dude was a little bit retarded. I mean, he's all over the floor. I mean, it was, man, I never seen nobody. Look, I don't even know how he made it up to the roster. The dude is just athletic. That's it. He might shoot in spurts, but he seemed like a retarded version of like J.R. Smith, for real. But what's the topic now? Are we going over Troy, or did we move on?
Well, we was just kind of wrapping up, getting people's how people feel about it. I think I'm ready to move on to Fizdale going to Latvia.
Yeah, I think he needs to, man. I think he needs to. I think that ever since that little outing between Hornacek and
those
Porzingis.
Right.
I think, it's just been a bad look, man. I mean, he's not with the team. He's been over there. He's real relaxed. I don't know if that New York life got to him, but I mean, it don't look all too good. I don't care what nobody says. I mean, the dude, you got to go to see him. He went Hollywood. He really did. It seemed like he went. I think he knows now he's a star. He knows now everybody got their eyes on him. He could go anywhere if need be afterwards. But I think, Fizdale being there, I think it's a help. I mean, you got Knox. We got a good future. I think we're not there yet. I hear everybody talking about Butler and all. I mean, that's not going to do nothing. I think we need to have a young core if we want for Porzingis to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people say, Kyrie Irving. I think we need to make Porzingis the main person on the team until we have a like Knox.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we can't have a dude come in like Butler and just start to alienate people,
Yeah.
Like he's done with the Bulls and he's done over there. Especially, what type of patience does he have? He argues everywhere he goes. It just seems like he'll go up to New York. He'll have issues with people, not on his level. I think the dude's about to be 29 in about a month and a half.
Yeah.
I think he needs to go to a contender. But I'm not here to take up all your time, man. I wanted to call in. One day I want to go to try to get on the chat, but it's just hard for me. I don't know how to get up on there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, you can, to get up on the chat, there's a link at the bottom of the page, appear.in/NBK. All you do is if you got a laptop or on your phone, get into the Google Chrome, put that link in, and it'll link you right up just like that real quick.
Okay then, man.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call.
My name is Jose. I'm going to call again too, man. And tell Mark, man, it's kind of like his voice got a lot deeper.
All right. All right, man. All right. Peace out, man. Bro. Appreciate it. One. Yeah. So Fizdale's going to Latvia, and I respect it. I definitely respect it. I want Fizdale. I'm glad he's going to Latvia. You know what I mean? I feel good about that. I feel real good about that because he, there's some repairing to do. You know what I mean? With KP, there's some repairing to do, and I want KP. I know you guys call me a KP hater. You say I hate KP and all that good stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? But I want KP to come back feeling like he has a clean slate. You know what I mean? With whatever happened with Jeff Hornacek back in the day, whatever happened with Jeff Hornacek, I want him to feel like he has a clean slate. He's coming in fresh with a fresh mindset, a new system, a new coach, a new regime, a couple of new players, obviously, and he'd be ready to ball. You know what I mean? So I think, Fizdale going over there to meet him, spend some time with him, look at some film, talk to him about his plans and how he sees him developing under Fizdale, how Fizdale plans to use him. All those things, I believe will help better KP's recovery, because he can then, while he's recovering, right, he can work on some of the skills that David Fizdale points out to him and says, this is where I want you to be. This is what I see you doing in our system. You know what I mean? And so I think, it's definitely a good thing with Fizdale going over to Latvia. You know what I mean? It's a sign. There were some people in the chat before who said that it was not a good thing, right? They said that to them it was Fizdale trying to sucker up to him, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I disagree with that. I think that's That's the signs of a leader. That's leadership to me. You know what I mean? That's leadership to me. So, in the chat, we got some new people in the chat. We got Tony Crow back. Tony Crow, what's popping? Glad you back. Yep, can hear you. We're nice and clear. Then we got a new guest. I don't know what your name is. What's your name, my man? My man, you got the New York shirt on. What's your name? I don't think he can hear me. So, Tony, everything that you've heard so far, tell me what you think about it.
Whoa. Popping out there.
Huh? You good?
Nah, I agree. We shouldn't rush on.
Now you breaking up on me, man. You breaking up on me. Yep, can't hear you. All right, so while we waiting for Tony Crow and the guys to get it together, we're going to take a call. Who's on the line? Who I got on the line?
Sam.
Sam, what's poppin', Sam?
How you doing, man?
Where you from, Sam?
From Newark, New York, 315.
Okay. All right, that's what's up, man. So, what's your take on what you heard today?
Well, basically, I'm kind of shocked that Troy Williams got waived.
Okay.
He's not fifth or sixth man, but like when you need somebody to come off the bench to give you that spark, like the 10th man, I think that would have been him perfectly role for him. A perfect role for him. As Fizz going to see Kristaps, I think something's really going on, Sam. I don't think everything is Gucci clean with the Knicks organization.
Okay.
I really don't think. I think they playing it off. I hope Fizdale can go there and talk to Kristaps and see can get on better terms.
Okay. And I mean, do you think that's the purpose of the trip?
Yes, I really think that's the purpose of the trip.
Okay.
Because I really believe they're not on the same page. Yeah. I really believe they're not. But I just called to say that I love the show, man.
Appreciate it.
And I'm not talking too long. I'll be calling again.
All right. We're looking forward to it, man. Definitely.
All right. Thank you, Sam. Right. And I appreciate what you do, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you for calling. Peace.
All right. Peace out. Bye-bye.
All right, I'm gonna try to get back in this chat again. I'm gonna try my man right here with the New York shirt on. What's popping, bro? You can hear. I can hear you now.
That's got to be me, since I feel like I'm the only one up here with the New York shirt. I ain't got this shit on. Excuse my language. I heard that all day. Not gonna go there. Anyway, look, man. I just got my question, and it'll be to the fellas in the chat, especially too. Everybody, like, who we like more, Frank Ntilikina or Tim Hardaway Jr.? I mean, that's.
I mean, I'll give you my answer real quick. My answer, I like Frank Ntilikina more. I'm not a big Tim Hardaway Jr. fan. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Tim Hardaway's. I don't like his basketball IQ, his shot selection, those type of things. I don't like his, his defense is off and on. And I know I went on my little thing about defense earlier in the show. You know what I mean? But they're just, there's still, you still need the effort and something. Well, he gave a lot better effort this year. I'm gonna give him that. He gave a lot better effort this year. I'm willing to. Don't get me wrong. I am willing to. Let Tim Hardaway Jr. see what happens under Fizdale and everybody. You know what I mean? I'm definitely waiting to see what he does there. Say that again.
I like that he won. Like, when you think about it, like, it's clear that Tim Hardaway wanted, man. He's going to get something. Sometimes you wonder that about Frank. As far as talent-wise and upside, obviously I think Frankie Schmoes got a better upside because of his mindset. We all clear on that. Tim Hardaway mindset be off spot, but the cat wanted. Same thing we kind of saw in Troy. Like I said last time I called in, Troy can act like a bulldog sometimes. He don't know how to put, use some patience when you go into the hole. You see something. We see it too when he be running up the court, but you can't just run people over. So whatever the case, but love his defense, all that. And I think a little bit of that is in Timmy. They're just knuckleheads. Frank is not a knucklehead. We stick with no. But I asked that because I feel like what we wanted to do when we talked about Carmelo Anthony was pulling money so that way we can let it go. Same we were talking about, we'll let Tim Hardaway go to Sacramento because, they gave Levine that option with all that money. Obviously, that's what they wanted. Let's see if they take Tim, for 2 years. I think that would have been a good idea. The only way Carmelo was really going to be waived or not even waived, but traded in the way that Oklahoma City wanted was if somebody could absorb the space. That was Philly, Chicago, Atlanta, Sacramento, it was only a handful of teams, and them teams spent their money. So whatever the case, Oklahoma City just can't save as much as they want. Only thing they can do is save bits and pieces. So maybe they can save some money by giving us Melo if we had enough space to absorb that by giving away Cantor or giving, we have to have enough space to absorb it just for them to save some. So I don't think that that's as much pliable right now. Either way it go, we don't want to play Carmelo. We don't want to take up minutes.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to play him. And see, I'm actually in favor of if there was a way that we could. We're talking about being players in the 2019 draft, right? And I know people are like, stay away from Melo because we just don't want to deal with the drama. But I'm not saying have Melo come and play. What I'm saying is, I would, if there was a way that we could do it smartly, intelligently, trade as long as we're not trading any future players. Trade for Carmelo's contract, not for Carmelo Anthony. Trade for his contract because the contract expires in 2019. That way, now you get $28 million on top of what you would have been able to free up. So that means you probably can't trade Cantor. It would have to be other players because in order to free up, let's say if you don't trade for Carmelo Anthony, you need Cantor's contract to go away so you can free up enough money to have cap space for a max contract. So that means you have to trade other players besides Cantor, right? To be able, so that would be like a Joakim Noah, Tim Hardaway Jr., guys whose contracts go past 2020. Obviously, OKC, they want to have money. They're trying to free up money too. So
they can't get it all off no more. There's no way to get it all off.
Right.
All the teams have money to absorb it. It's gone. So I guess let me just finish up by saying this. I don't know how long we're gonna be able to have this conversation about Frank Ntilikina being a starting point guard. I personally think he's probably more of off the bench player, maybe even 6 man of the year sometime, but I just don't think he's going to be the big attraction for somebody to say that's who's going to be playing point guard for me. I believe we're going to get, I don't care what nobody say, we will have a marquee player playing point guard. That's going to be that's what Fizdale was going to go for, to play with somebody like Porzingis. I feel like all the lineup conversations that we have, we got to make sure we got playmakers in the game. Your boy called in earlier and was like Frank Ntilikina with Knox at the 2 and KP and the long white boy. We got to talk Richard Robinson. We don't have enough playmakers in that lineup. We got to make sure we have people who can come on. Like, I like Hazulia at that one, but then we need another playmaker. So no matter what, we got to make sure we have the playmakers. Talking, but I really hope that Frankie steps up and he's exactly what I'm talking opposite of.
Okay.
Be the player that we want, because we already know that the defense, it'd be great to have him and Jimmy as our, you know what I'm saying? What Kevin Knox?
Now that one point right there, have Frank at the 1, Jimmy at the 2. That's tough.
Great, but we have to have playmakers, people who can go and make their own play, and that's why we like what we're seeing out of Kevin Knox, but we haven't seen it against, we like what we're seeing so far. We can go there. We have to have people to handle the ball and get the ball to the people like KP. So that.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, what's your name?
You're right. Who's Mark? Hazonia. Yeah. I agree, but it would be okay. Hazonia and Jimmy Butler. Oh, maybe y'all can't hear her. Who's Mark? But Hazonia and Jimmy Butler with Kevin Knox. I love that.
Okay.
I love that. As a, you know what I mean? As our wings. Yeah, I rock with that.
All right. Hey, what's your name, man?
Ruben, man. Ruben, you call me RJ. I called him before.
Oh, okay.
For watermelon.
I remember that. yeah. All right, man.
Who's on the chat with that? Them North Carolina watermelons be popping, but trust me.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Ruben.
Yo, shout out to the chat, yo. If you didn't hit the like button, subscribe. I try to say that every time I come on because this is a beautiful thing. I'm gonna be here at the time, y'all.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Next time I'm gonna
have a different New York shirt on.
Yeah, Isaiah, man, dang, man, what's going on? It's a rough night for you, bro. Hold on. Oh, there you go. It's a rough night for you, bro. You just clean your nose and everything. Golly. Come on, man. What's up?
All right, let me get up, man.
Yeah,
let me get
man.
up.
You gotta get in it, bro.
Yo, what we talk about?
And right now we just kind of, we was talking about, the Carmelo, and we was just kind of wrapping up. Really, we kind of wrapping up a little bit.
Oh yeah, like I said before, I mean, me personally, man, I don't know, man. It's been a long time since we won a trade. And that Carmelo Anthony trade, we hands down won that trade. Hands down. Mm-hmm. That's a hands down, we won that trade. And this has been a long time since we won a trade, man. I just want to, I understand what you're saying about the clearing up cap space. But I want you to wrap your head around this.
Okay.
Tim is 26. Butler's going to be 30. That's 4 year difference. Right. Now, I know what people are gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. Who's Mark about defense? But if we should, I'm gonna say this: not all 5 players are not gonna be good at defense. I don't care what lineup you ever say. Every NBA player, all 5 of your players don't play good or great plus defense.
No, they don't.
So if you can give me, if you give me Frank, KP. I don't know if Knox is going to be a really good defender. He has the potential. If you give me 3 out of 4 out of 5, I'm fine. Because Mitchell too. So basically, we got 3 players that play defense, and Tim Hardaway plays decent defense. My thing is, man, I know, but he plays all right defense. But it's about. I'm just big, like I tried to say before, was I'm not trying to pay Jimmy $40 million at 36, bro. That's my big thing. I'm thinking about the long. Bro, he's gonna get a max contract next year. There's a guarantee he's getting a max.
Okay, hold on for a minute, cause all right, now you talking to other people that they can't hear. Okay, all right, so I unmuted you, Tony. What you say?
I was saying the 4th year. Who's Mark said where are you getting $40 million from? I guess the 4th year would be somewhere in the high 30s.
It's gonna be high 30s, low 40. Why do you? My thing is, I'm thinking about the future, bro. It's just the sense of Jimmy's gonna be.
So you're saying Jimmy Butler is going to be in that 4th, 5th year, whatever, is going to be $40 million.
Yeah, I just want people to understand that do you really want to pay a 35 or 36-year-old Jimmy Butler $40 million? That's not LeBron. That's not KD. That's Jimmy Butler. Now don't disrespect. I like Jimmy Butler, but it's just I'm thinking about the long term of certain players, and I don't see Jimmy as a player that you pay for. To me, it's like the Chris Paul thing. Okay. I thought the Chris Paul contract was crazy. Okay. Because they're about to pay him almost 40-something million when he's 37.
All right, so who's Mark? What you got? Go ahead.
This is what I want people to understand something. This is the golden chip of everything. We have Knox developing. So if we brought Jimmy Butler in, right, for those 4 years, don't you think by that time this kid will develop into a great player?
I believe that, bro. But at the same time, why eat up 25% of your cap on Jimmy Butler at that age? And I'm not saying I don't want Jimmy Butler, because I do, because he's a great 2-way player. I'm just thinking about the contracts we be having. You know all the contracts we have.
I understand that.
Years.
Do you understand every max player?
If we're losing Timmy to get Jimmy Butler, It's
I don't
worth
know
it.
why I don't know why we even talking about that.
It's worth it, hands down.
Guess what? Now I was thinking Hazonia might start over Tim Hardaway because Tim Hardaway is a bench guy. Because if he couldn't start for Atlanta Hawks, what makes you think he's gonna start over Hazonia? Because Hazonia does way more.
But you know he wasn't better than Kyle Korver at the time.
Oh.
Kyle Korver at that time, he wasn't better than Kyle Korver. You know that.
Wow, Kyle Korver was just a shooter.
Bro, he was one of the best shooters in the league at the time. He wasn't better than Kyle Korver at that time. Not at that time. Kyle Korver was an all-star. He wasn't.
He should have been.
Timmy wasn't.
He should have been better.
He should have been better. That's a fact. He should have been better.
So let me ask you a question. If he comes off the bench for Atlanta, right? He was the guy to score off the bench. If he was that good enough, they would have started him over Kyle Korver. They would have started because Tim Hardaway could do some things. He can pass a little bit. He drives better than Cal. He does more things than Cal Korver does. He does more things than Cal Korver does. And if he couldn't start on Atlanta with that type of offense, he's a bench player, bro. It's because he played for the Knicks. And that contract that we gave him, bro, that contract is why we want to get rid of him because he's not supposed to get nowhere near $17 million. He's not a starter nowhere else but here.
If he was making $5 less, I'd be fine with his contract.
Yes, and the thing is, now that I was thinking about it with the Troy Williams thing, he would have never got time because I went back and watched Hazonia. Hazonia does, like I said, dumb European ball players, they play the game right. They pass, they dish, and they shoot the ball. They do everything. And he's 6'8". He's gonna start over Tim Hardaway. Fact. He's gonna start over him. I wasn't even thinking about him. I forgot we had him.
I feel you, bro. Listen, man. I just want what's best for the team.
Yeah, but it's like this. It's like you would rather have Tim Hardaway than Jimmy Butler.
Whoa, I ain't never say that. I didn't say that. I ain't say that.
I don't know why we constantly keep bringing up Tim Hardaway. He should not be a factor here.
All right. Check it, fella. Check it out. Let me get to a couple of super chats. All right, I got a couple people I need.
Nah, because we got the three OGs right now.
I got a couple people I need to shout out. All right.
We got three OGs, man. We not playing tonight.
I got a couple people I need to shout out on the super chats. All right. Let me give a shout out. Big shout out. Shout out to Robert Paris. Said KD is plan A. Butler trashes Tim Hardaway Jr.'s value. So, that's something else we could talk about. We talked about KD a little bit earlier. Tony Crow brought up KD a little bit earlier. And if it, and then Jeffrey, I want to give a shout out to Jeffrey. He says he gave a big shout out to CK2K. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad CK2K was ever able to make it on as well. You know what I mean? It's an honor to have the guy on. I think he does a great job with his videos and things like that. So big shout out to CK for coming through. Then he said, should we worry about Big Meat switching agents because the draft didn't go the way he planned? Is he untouchable? Talking about Mitchell Robinson. I don't think we should worry about Mitchell Robinson switching agents. I think it was because they gave him bad advice. His people gave him bad advice. You know what I mean? They messed up his money by giving him bad advice. Mitchell Robinson could have maybe he could have won in the first round. You know what I mean? And, they told him not to go to the combine. So without him going to the combine, guess what happened? He slipped to the second round. Good thing for the Knicks. He still made a good amount of money, right? 4 years, $6.5 million. A decent amount of money for a kid who never went to college. Over $1 million something dollars a year, $1.5 million a year, whatever it is. That's good money for a guy who never went to college. You know what I mean? But it's possible he could have had more, had a longer contract, whatever it is, because the contract that he has now is very, what I want to say, it's a team contract is good for the team. You know what I mean? Is he untouchable? Well, I don't want to trade him. I don't want to move him. But like I've said before, and I'll continue to say, in my eyes, there's no player in the league that's untouchable. You know, and people will disagree with me. They'll say, well, LeBron James is. But you know what? For the right package, I think any player will be traded for the right package. Teams are not loyal. That's why, you know, and so, you know, teams are not loyal. So, of course, players shouldn't be loyal. You know, a player is an independent contractor. When you're a player, you are a business, right? Teams are not going to be loyal because they're running a business. That's what it is. We hate to think about it. We hate to talk about it, but the NBA is a business. And so no player, in my opinion, is untouchable. Any player can be traded for the right price, for the right package. I think any player can be traded. You know what I mean? And you know, it may emotion. As Knicks fans, we get very emotional. You know what I'm saying? And we say, we're not gonna trade this guy. You know, this guy is untradeable. That guy is untradeable. You know, and maybe he's untradeable in your heart, but on the books, it's probably not untradeable. You know what I mean? Because right now, listen, and you guys will say, well, Sim, that's far-fetched. That's not going to happen. And you're right. It probably won't. But if the Pelicans said, we really like Mitchell Robinson, Anthony Davis is going to leave, we will trade you Anthony Davis, but Mitchell Robinson needs to be in the package. I guarantee you it gets done. You see what I'm saying? I guarantee you it gets done. And if it didn't get done, then I would no longer trust this regime. And, you know, people, I'm sure, is going to come across your chat right now to say, that's crazy, that'll never happen, blah, 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 blah. You can't say that'll never happen. You don't know that'll never happen because we've seen in recent times crazy things have happened. Right? Things have happened all over the NBA. You know, so in my opinion, there are no players that are untouchable. You know what I mean? Because if someone is willing to give you the right package for that player, then, you know, it's something that you might do. You know what I mean? It's something that you might do. I'm just saying. That's just what it is to me. You know, and Tyreek, I want to give a big shout out to Tyreek with a super chat. He said, I think Tim Hardaway Jr. can play well under Fizz, just like how he played well under Budenholzer in Atlanta. I want that version of Tim Hardaway. See, here's my problem with that. I'm anxious to see what he can do under Fizdale. I'm very anxious to see what he can do under Fizdale. My thing is, I don't think you can really compare the two. Because coming into next season, Tim Hardaway is going to be our number one option on offense. He's never handled that kind of responsibility. Under Budenholzer, he was the third option at best. You know what I'm saying? Much less responsibility. All he had to do was come in, play a role, take the shots that they wanted him to take. He had no responsibility for leadership. He had no responsibility to make sure the team was getting buckets every night. That wasn't his role. Other people had that role. Paul Millsap had that role, right? Whoever else, Jeff Teague was on the team, had that role, or whoever else was on the team, I don't know. But they had that role. Tim Hardaway didn't have that role. So there's a difference. I do not think that you're going to get that same kind of guy. I hope that we can. I do. But, you know, that when you say that same kind of guy, it really has to be, you have to look at it through a different lens because he was in a totally different situation. You know, when you have other guys who can take the load of the responsibility, then some other guys can look really, really good. Some guys can look really, really good because all they got to do is run in transition and knock down the open three. So they can look really good. But now when that person is called on to be the man, the primary scorer, or one of the two primary scorers, that looks a little bit different. You know what I mean? I'm going to take a call coming in right here. I'm going to take this call right here. Who am I speaking to? Who am I speaking to? What's popping? What's going on? I'm chilling, man. Who am I speaking with?
Mr. Moore.
Okay. All right. I can hear you now. Your audio was a little bit low. Can you turn the audio up some?
Yeah.
If you can.
This is Brother Israelite, aka Mr. Moore.
Okay. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good. So, what's your take, man? What's your take on the New York Knicks right now? And, you know, we're talking a lot about trading for Jimmy Butler, talking about Tim Hardaway Jr. What's your take on everything you've been hearing tonight?
Well, I think getting Jimmy Butler is a good thing. I think him coming to the team would be a good asset. You know, people saying that he's trouble. I think that'll light a fire under the younger players. I think younger players will get good experience with how to play defense, the work ethics, and I think it would boost their confidence.
Playing with a guy like Jimmy Butler, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'll boost their confidence. You know, it's a shame that Troy had to leave, but you know, like you said, he's a third option, and he probably wouldn't have been able to play. So that was a good move on that part. I'll stay away from that man. And he left on good terms. I think that would only bring back memories for KP.
Okay.
You know, so I would stay away from that. And I don't really think there's nothing going on over there with KP. I think they probably didn't like the fact that he's, have that exposure that was in a negative manner. Probably will want to go and speak to him about that. But I think he's ready to play, and I think Fizdale is ready to coach him. I think it's going to be a good year.
Okay. Yeah, well, I hope so. I definitely hope it's a good year. I know a lot of people want us to tank. I'm not one of the tanks, the wanksters. That's not me. I like the guys to go out there and try to win. That's just what it is. I want the guys to go out, try to win the ball game. Yeah, listen, I know that we're young and we're not going to have, we don't have the same experience. We don't have the strength and all that kind of stuff. But, we go out there, we try to win. We let the chips fall where they may, and then we take it. You know what I mean? Hey, I appreciate the call, brother.
Okay.
Definitely appreciate the call. Hope you call back again.
Will do.
All right.
Take care. Have a good one.
Have a good one. All right, let's see what's going on in our chat right now. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the chat, and whose mark is going off. I don't know who he's going off on or what he's saying or what he's doing, but he's going off. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching him in the room. You guys can't hear him, but I can see him. You know what I mean? And whose mark is, he I don't know. It looked like him and Isaiah is going back and forth. I'm going to wait. I'm going to let them finish their conversation, and then I'm going to take this phone call right here. What's popping, my man? Who I'm speaking with?
JP.
JP?
Yes.
How you doing, JP?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and well, man.
Okay, I want to thank you very much for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling in. I thank you more for calling in.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I just have one question. I like Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
But my main concern is, does he fit as far as age-wise? And also, Perry and Mills always talks about chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to trade for him and have him clash with KP or any one of our young guys, because he does have that history?
Yeah, and see, that's the
only thing that concerns me. And we had to deal with the whole Melo issue, and I know it's not the same thing, but I'm kind of scared. I feel like if he wants to be a Knick, we can sign him as a free agent. I know that we want to get rid of Tim Hardaway Jr., but the man's only 26 years old.
That is true. And look, that would be right now my biggest fear with Jimmy Butler. I think he's a two-way player. But everything that I've heard in the chat has convinced me somewhat just because I haven't really followed everything about Jimmy Butler and his locker room presence with the young guys. I've heard some things here and there, but I've heard it a lot, and that does concern me because we want to build the right culture.
I mean, because at the end of the day, like I don't really know KP's personality, but I mean, how do you think that he'll mesh with
Jimmy Butler?
Butler, if Butler tries to take his shine, kind of thing,
Yeah.
I don't know about that because he tends to be a little fickle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I am not sure. So,
that would definitely be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
The hope is that they look at each other and say, neither one of us has to be the man. Let's see if we can share the spotlight. But that's always hard when you're talking about young men, right? And the ego gets in the way. That's very hard. But that's a very interesting dynamic on how that would take place. And listen, if there's anything in the works, if there's any conversations taking place, I would not put it past Fizdale to ask KP while he's over in Latvia, what do you think about Jimmy Butler coming and playing with us? Can you get along with him? Give him a call. Right.
See, the thing is like Butler. It seems to me like he plays well, and then he kind of wears out his welcome. Mm-hmm. So it seems like he'll be on his best behavior, but like 2-3 months later, we'll probably get tired of him.
Yeah. So it goes on a little honeymoon period, and it could be, but maybe the fear of the New York. Maybe this is one time with someone like Jimmy Butler, where the fear of the New York media puts him in check.
What are you willing to give up for him at this moment? Because I was actually reading an article where I guess the guy was bugging because he indicated that we have to give up Knox and Mitchell Robinson to get him, and they wanted a pick in return. And to me, that's outrageous.
There's no way that I'm giving up. No way that I'm giving up Knox and Mitchell Robinson to get him. That wouldn't be. No way. I'm not. If I were to give up a first round draft pick, it'd be like 2021.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you willing? I mean, if these Kyrie rumors are accurate, are you willing to give up on Frank? I think he'll compliment any guard that pretty much comes here.
Yeah, I don't think we have to give up on Frank if Kyrie comes. I think I think that they can play together.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you very much.
Yeah. Is JP, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate the call, man. How old are you?
Me? I'm 37.
37. Oh, I thought you was a little bit younger, man. I was gonna say very knowledgeable.
Yeah, I'm a female too, man. I have a little cold right now, so.
Oh, okay, okay. That explains everything. That explains everything.
I'm fighting the flu, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's always a pleasure to have a lady call in. We don't get enough ladies call in, so thank you very much for calling in. I hope you call back some more.
Thank you very much for your time. Shout out to the chat, and have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Yep, no problem.
Bye.
Now, you see these guys, right? I know you guys are looking at the window. You see these guys here. You see who's Mark going off. And you don't know what he's talking about right now. He's just going off. He's wilding right now. I'm scared to open it up. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going in. I'm scared to open it up. I don't know what he's saying or what he's doing. So I'm going to wait for him to calm down for a minute before I open it up so that he can hear. So you know what I mean? Let's just check in. Let's check. Oh, now he heard now. So he's cool now. Who's Mark? What's poppin', man?
We're just talking basketball.
Huh?
We talking about transcending players in the league right now, and I was telling him how Curry's transcendent because he got KD to come play with him, and if Curry wasn't there, KD wouldn't even look at Golden State. So when I'm looking at the league, I'm looking at how Stephen Curry has all these teams reacting to his style of play. That is transcendent to me.
Okay. All right. I mean, I was just, I don't know. I mean, you was going in somehow, some way. You was going in.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about like transcendent players and who's transcendent in the league. But I over-exaggerate stuff. I'm animated. You know what I mean? So that's just me, B.
Yeah. All right. Good.
ability on defense. That's all I was saying.
He still
They
is,
have
but
to hide him.
Yeah, he still is, but he plays good team defense. It's not like you know what makes him a liability? Because we see Braun get switched on him every time. He can't guard Braun.
No, I give you that. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So it looks like a liability. But when you watch the finals, he does. He held his own.
You didn't see what Harden did to him?
All right, so look.
You didn't see what James Harden did to him?
So look, I know, it's great. It's great, we talk of basketball overall, but I'm about to end up the show in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to end up the show because it's late. So let's get back to the Knicks. All right, let's get back to the Knicks. And,
Kevin Knox all day. Frank Ntilikina going to dunk on LeBron. Easy.
Knicks Film School is coming in on Thursday night. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk a lot of cap stuff. So we're going to get down and dirty. We're going to get down and dirty with the cap. You know what I mean? And, we're going to get down and dirty with the cap. And we're going to get a chance to all these things we're talking about tonight. He's a capologist, I guess, right? He said he's a capologist. We're going to get down and dirty. He sent me something that we were going to use tonight. We'll use it Thursday night. That really breaks down the cap. And we'll get a chance to really talk about it and see what the true possibilities are with the Knicks. You know what I mean? I see one more person. I'm going to let one more person in the room, but we're about to close this thing out. All right. So while, I don't think it's wrong, Cleveland, but while I'm getting this into the chat, I'm gonna take one more call as I'm setting up to bring this person into the chat. I'm gonna take one more call, and then we're gonna call it a night because it's been a late night, but it's been a very good show. I will say that it's really been a good show. You know what I mean? So if you want to get your call in right quick. If you want to get your call in right quick, call me up and let's talk. Okay, I got one call on the line. Who am I speaking with?
Simmer. This is the original Jamaican Dandada.
You're back. That's what I'm talking. Yes, sir. Let's go, my man.
What's going on, man? What's going on? Hello to the chat, man. Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
yes,
big
man.
shout out, bro.
That's right, my man. I heard what you guys talking about, man. And you know what? You said one thing that I was very, very interested in a very long time. I was saying the same thing, just like you. The hell with KD. Watch for Anthony Davis. That's the man we're going after. Anything we look at right now, we have to look at the source. Whatever decision is being made by the Knicks, we got to look at the source. What's the source? Okay. Source is KP. Source is KP. Now, KP, although we are on the stick that we want to win the proper way.
That's why you love Trae Young so much.
To develop our guys in the proper way. But the thing is that KP doesn't have long to wait. He wants to know from Fizz and the Knicks that we are willing to be a championship contender. Just like the Lakers right now. The Lakers are coming up and Magic is already talking. He's already talking about a run for the championship in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't take the same stance right now, there's going to be a problem. And KP wants to know from Fizz that we will be at that point. So, in 2 years, Knox, Mitchell, these guys will be now developed enough to help KP. What KP needs right now, two other people. He needs Anthony Davis. That's the guy who has now played the center. And I guarantee you, if Anthony Davis came in, played at center, and we have Kyrie either playing the point or the 2 spot, because Ntilikina, trust me, he's going nowhere. He's going to be on the Knicks because he plays the game the right way. And anyone who wants to talk nonsense about Ntilikina, They gotta shut up. They don't know anything. He plays the game the way the game is supposed to be played as a point guard. If Kyrie comes in, he may play the number 2 spot as a shooting guard, and Ntilikina as the 1. But with Anthony Davis coming in, backed up with KP and Knox as a small, can you imagine the type of team we would have? That's the team.
Okay.
That's a team that will contend in a championship. And I guarantee you, watch out for Anthony Davis. He's coming. KD, nah. He has insulted us many a times in the past about not coming to New York. Both him and LeBron, they've insulted New York enough. We don't want them. Let them go. Let them chase their rings, okay? Like assassins. Let them do it. They're just mercenaries. But if you have a man like Anthony Davis coming in and Kyrie who wants to be with us, that's going to be a championship.
Okay.
Sorry. That's going to be the team. That's going to be the team. So that's what I'm waiting on, man.
All right.
That's what I'm waiting on.
You know what? I will take Anthony Davis all day. I love Anthony Davis's game. I love, he can handle the ball. He's not quite he doesn't play the same exact type of game as KD. KD is a lot more fluent offensively. Right. A little more wiry and athletic. But he can bring the ball up. He can shoot it from 3. He can run a point for you if you need him to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I really do like Anthony Davis. Not gonna lie.
He's the man. And I tell you one more thing, Sim. I have seen Mr. Hardaway, and I've seen how he plays. I'll tell you something right now. The man has great potential. The problem with him playing with Hornacek could not manage him. Hardaway's a guy like this. He plays so hard sometimes. He wants to win. And when KP went out, it took him out of his own game. Basically, he saw himself now as a number 1 guy. And he played out of himself. He didn't play within himself. When Hardaway has the people around him to support him, you're going to see a different person. But Hornacek was not that person. Hornacek could not rail him in. Okay. Plus, of course, we also understand that he had many injuries. About 2 or 3 times he was injured. There was no consistency. So he thought, as a number 2 man, he had to now step his game up to try and help out the team. That made him a problem. And Hornacek could not control him. So you know what? No matter what we say about Hardaway, you can see it in his face. You can see it in his heart. The man wants to win. The man wants to be a Knick. We just have to give him time with Fizdale. And Fizdale will set him right. Trust me on that. Okay. Fizdale will rein him in.
All right. I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. And we're going to see what happens when the season starts, because I believe that Tim Hardaway is going to be here when the season starts. And I'll be looking forward to your call so we can talk about it. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of his game. I'm sure you guys have heard it over and over and over again, but I'm always rooting for him. And I want him to play for the Knicks. I want him to do well. And when he does well, I'm going to say, damn, Tim Hardaway is killing it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Hey, Original Don Dada. Thank you for calling in.
Sim Simmer. Gotta keep Simmer.
There we go. I appreciate the call, man. All right.
No problem, my man. Take care, buddy.
Have a good one. Have a good one. All right, folks. We're about to bring the show to a close. It's been a good one. It's been a really good one. It's been a really fun show too. You know what I mean? So I got one last guy in the chat. All right, that just joined the chat, and I'm gonna bring him up, let him talk for a minute, because right now Tony Crow is Who's Mark is kind of dominating the conversation, but I'm gonna let my man get it in, all right, and all right, bro, what's your name? You just joined the appearing chat. What's up with you? I'm talking to you, my man, with the white shirt on. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me, bro. Can you hear me with the white shirt on? You there? Now I don't think he can hear me. I don't think he can hear me. So, all right, he can't hear me. We're gonna move on. Then I'm gonna get my man Tony Crow up. Tony, I'm gonna get you up. You know, let's close this thing out for the night. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think my man. Maybe he'll have to call back in next time because I don't think he heard me. All right, Tony, can you hear me? Let me get you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You hear me?
Yep, I got you, man. So why don't you close this thing out for us, Tony? You know, about just, you know, kind of wrap up the night for us. You know what I'm saying? And what you heard, you know, what's going on with the night.
I think everybody, like my main focus would be patient and let's wait the thing out and don't rush to any decisions. But again, if we could get rid of Tim Hardaway and that'll get us Jimmy Butler and that'll get us closer to getting another star in free agency, then I'm all for it. I just don't want to give up any draft picks. And actually, the only way I'm giving up a draft pick is if that gets rid of Noah.
If it get,
and I don't want it to be 19th draft pick. It got to be 20.
Okay, so you would give up. So you give up Noah. I mean, you give up a draft pick. You know, 2020, 2021 draft pick if they would take Noah. And you know, I mean, you never know. Minnesota might do something like that. You know, I don't know what their. You know, of course, we didn't look at their cap situation. I don't know what the cap situation is like. Listen, I would do. My mindset is this: as long as we're not giving up any of our young players, I'd give up Dotson, I'd give up Ron Baker. But if we're not giving up any of our young guys, we're not dipping into that 2019 draft. I don't even really want to dip into the 2020 draft, right? But maybe that. But I'm negotiable there.
To do 20 is because I feel like we should be in a winning position. We should definitely be in the playoffs. And it's all dependent on.
Okay. See, and you know, for me, the 2020 would be negotiable, right? I'd negotiate it. I'd have it there. I really wouldn't want to, but if push came to shove, maybe I would. You know what I mean?
And that puts us in position for 2 max.
Yeah, right. That might put you in a position to be able to, you got Butler and then hammer down another max contract. I wouldn't be opposed to it. My thing still, like CK was saying, we're not desperate. So I'm not trying to, if we can't get it the way we want it, if the deal doesn't work in our favor, then okay, go. Let it go. We'll finish. We'll do what we're doing. That's where I am with it. You know what I mean? If you can get it done without with pushing off that Noah contract, without giving up any of the young kids, of course you got to give something. Maybe you give a first round draft pick that's years away or something like that. Maybe that's something I think about. If it's nothing like that, then I'm like, you know what? We don't need it. We're cool doing what we do. You know what I mean? We'll sign them in 2019 or something.
Yep. One last thing, Sim. I was telling the chat how I feel like Frank is gonna end up becoming what Sean Livingston was supposed to be before his injury.
Okay, I take that.
And I don't know if people remember him before the injury, but if you just look at his game now, just imagine that with a little bit more speed. I think Frank is a little bit more athletic. And I think he has a little bit more range than Sean Livingston. But if he uses his size and focuses on taking them small point guards in the post and working his passing from the wing from the wing area, I think he's gonna be unstoppable.
Yeah, okay. I'm with that. Well, Tony, man, thank you for closing this out. You know, thank you for, coming on with us, joining the chat, keeping them guys in line in the chat. I'm sure they still in there, doing whatever they do.
They're going at it.
You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that they are. So I appreciate that. And, I'm about to log off for the night because it's 1:05 a.m. We've been on for about 2.5 hours, but this is I really, really enjoyed this show. It's really been a good show. You know what I mean? We had about 10 people in the chat at one time. We're definitely going to continue to do that because I think people like it. People enjoy it. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. And, I'm out for the night, man. Hey,
no doubt, man. Yo, Blackest Time. Shout out to the chat.
Definitely. Oh, go ahead, Tony. Oh, it's breaking up. So, Tony just hit you with it. Yo, Black, it's time. He said, shout out to the chat. Let the chat know, y'all got to keep it cool in there. Y'all got to keep it easy. Sometimes y'all be wilding out just a little bit. You know what I mean? Y'all be tripping out in the chat sometimes. Y'all be going on these guys that's on the screen. You got to give these guys some love because some people just don't have the heart to get on the screen like that. You know what I mean? Some people scared to get on the screen. One last super chat. I'm going to give a shout out to Demo B. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Listen, I'm out. I'm going to check y'all Thursday night. Knicks Film School is going to be on the show Thursday night. We're going to talk cat. We're going to try to get deep down and dirty and really. Go ahead.
I'm about to open a channel, Yo Blackest Time right now if y'all want to just keep chatting.
They want to keep, there you go. All right. If they want to keep chatting, y'all go to Yo Blackest Time and keep chatting. That's what it is. All right, y'all. Yep, he said just type it in. Just type it in. He said just type it in. Type it into the search engine, Yo Blackest Time, and there it is. All right. People, I'm out. I will talk to y'all Thursday night. Knicks Film School. Regular chat. Your regular casualties is going to be on. And have a good week. Thank y'all for the love. Peace. If you enjoyed this show, please subscribe below. Ring the bell so I can get so you can get a notification anytime that I go live. Join us Thursday night, 10:30 p.m. Knicks Film School will be here. And we're going to break down the cat. We're really going to get into it. Peace.